WIFTV-PM.
AM 1570 WBGX Harvey, Chicago. AM 1570 WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
WIFTV-PM. WIFTV-PM. WIFTV-PM.
What's in it for the black people? What's in it? What's in it for the black people? I'm in it. What's in it for the black people? What's in it? What's in it for the black people? I'm in it. For the black people. For the black people. For the black people. For the black people. For the black people, for the black people.
AM 1570 WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
For the black people. What's in it for the black people? Let's hear it. What's in it for the black people? Don't fear it. What's in it for the black people? Let's hear it. What's in it for the black people? Don't fear it. For the black people, 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 for the black people. What's in it for the black people? You know it. What's in it for the black people? What's in it for the black people? Let's show it. For the black people. 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 For the black people.
AM 1570 WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
For the black people. 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 For the black people.
WIFTBPM.
What's in it for the black people? Cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to lies, can't doze no more. I told y'all this, that dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't tryna help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies of the politicians. We need money, no symbolism. It's Maze and Sonia and Ruthie and Todd explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we're united, our movement gon' start. They ain't tryna help us, they ain't tryna do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta start running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressor to solve them.
What's in it for the black people? All the lies we didn't heard before. Time to pay attention, you gotta do more than listen. Need some action with it on the count of 3. Let's go.
People gon' stop that hate. Look in the mirror, realize you great. But we always argue with our brothers, but it's others gon' take our place. Stay in tune and stay on top. Bout who forwards and bout who not. Just green light the black economy. Then watch all the shooting gon' stop. To my black people in power, just remember who put you in power. If you really wanna save all the black princesses, be Mario or not Bowser. They gave us a hard job, we gon' make it if we do it together. Divided before, we gotta evolve. We confidence you with it before you started. With no confidence in the people, we always gon' be the people.
What's in it for the black people? All the lies we didn't heard before. Time to pay attention, you gotta do more than listen. Need some action with it on the count of 3. Let's go. What's in it for me? What's in it for you? Who's telling the lies? Who's telling the truth? Black people realize the sun shines for you. So stop the divide, see what melanin do. What's in it for the black people? All the lies we didn't heard before. Time to pay attention, you gotta do more than listen. Need some action with it on the count of 3. Let's go.
I love being black. I love being black. May say it. I love being black. I said I love being black.
Now, the one thing that everyone seems to have forgotten here tonight is that what you're talking about in the capitalistic form of government is power. This is the only thing that this country responds to is power. Economic power and political power.
WIFTBPM.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
What's in it for the black people? Cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to last, can't doze no more. I told y'all this, that dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies of the politicians. We need money, no symbolism. It's Maze and Sonia and Ruthie and Todd explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we're united, our movement gon' start. They ain't tryna help us, they ain't tryna do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressor to solve them.
What's in it for the black people? All the lies we didn't heard before. Time to pay attention. You gotta do more than listen. Need some action with it on the count of three. Let's go.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world! This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, Miss Ruthie Moore, and Sonia Escobar all in the building. How y'all feeling this morning? What's up, Todd? How you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling great, Maze. You know, I was thinking about you this morning.
Hey, man.
My friend Sam. I mentioned Sam before. He was from Evanston. I thought about it. You guys were similar. I mean, you know, not exact. You weren't kissing cousins or nothing.
Hey, I don't kiss nobody's cousin, but let me stop.
Well, Sam looked more like Dawn than he looked like you. So, but
whoa.
But he was a guy who was not afraid to humbug.
What does humbug mean?
Oh, fight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He wasn't afraid to get in a fight. He grew up in Evanston around a whole bunch of people who didn't look like us. He didn't go to a big school like Bolingbrook, but he went to a school more like Morgan Park.
Academy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Small. I mean, there was like 10 boys in his class or something.
That's where you really got to fight. That's where it gets intense.
Really?
Like, because you have less people who are diverse, like, or in challenge. Like, if you only got 10 people, it's probably 8 of them that all knew each other, grew up together, one that figures out how to figure in, and then you become the target. Now, if you got 30 people in the class, you can probably find you another alliance. But go ahead. That's probably why he was even more scrappy.
Yeah, but no, Sam was not the guy. He wasn't that guy. He was like 5'8", 180. He wasn't taking no crap.
Well, that's the point. It's like you learn to survive, and it's like the challenge. There's the fight that I think that the black person who grew up in the city has. Right. That they got to make it through the urban jungle. I think when the parents put their kids in the suburbs, they put them in the eye of the storm of racism.
And like you, Sam kind of hooked up with the Latin Kings because, he's Panamanian.
Okay, first of all, let's keep all that out of it. All of that out of there. I don't want no phone calls. Right? Hey, bro. But what I do believe happens, Todd, in that case, is you look to find these alliances because it's the story of how organizations form. It's no different in education, right? It's no different in... I would say that the kid that grows up in the suburbs whose parents think they've done them justice is putting their child in the eye of the storm of racism. I think the child that has to grow up in the city of Chicago, that has to take two buses and a train, has to learn to navigate the earth under a different set of circumstances. I don't think either one is less. I won't minimize. One probably has bullets. One has lifelong consequences, right? Like, I mean, they both have lifelong consequences. But I would just say that there is a challenge growing up in the suburbs for a black person simply because you got to deal with white people who literally are like, no, like, you're different.
Right.
Like, and so
and in our face every day.
Exactly. And so I don't know how we got here, but shout out to all the brothers who are 149 live. What are you talking about? Facebook, YouTube, y'all going crazy this morning? Well, let me tell y'all what.
Oh, and Sam also was really smart. He was a very good student.
That's the challenge, being smart too, because everybody think if you smart, then you got to be a sucker, right? And it's like, and I want to be clear, like, I'm not tough, right? I'm not like, I don't walk around like but I'm just, I mean, if you've had somebody spit on you, right? You have to be prepared to go for it, like, regardless. And when that white boy spit on me, it was like I had to go into a crowd of white boys and return fire, but it was not going down like that. Now, that's not anything that anybody documents. That's never going to be on the TV show. That's never going to be the story that anybody tells. But there are countless moments for people like Sam, like Maze, like a lot of us who had a different experience, man.
I understand that part you're talking about. It's like in the 90s, if I went to the hole and somebody knocked me down, pow, I'd hop up like, no, we gonna have to,
right? You because they go
because everybody will knock me down like this if I just say nothing.
Can I tell you? I bet if you talk to Sam, he ain't, and Donald Trump probably don't face Sam. He probably like get rid of him, but he probably ain't like, oh my God, it's the craziest thing in the world. Because I knew Trump. I'm telling you, I lived right down the street. I used to play with Donald Trump's kids.
I get it.
All right, I'm telling you, knew Ivanka them. I knew. Let me tell you, if it was anything like Bolingbrook, Ivanka them knew the brothers. But that's a whole nother story. I'm telling you, usually the most racist guys had the most exploratory family members, you and me. Was really interesting. Look, I don't know how we got anywhere down this path, but we're going to do this. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back, and then we'll say what's up to everybody else and get the soul plane up in the air. It's a Friday, y'all.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
WIFTBPM.
I think that the black community is starting to realize the mayor may not necessarily be an ally just because she is black.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio.
Our representatives don't necessarily get a pass just because they're black. We've got a challenge in the black part of Chicago of holding black politicians accountable.
You're listening to The Maze Jackson Show.
This is Chicago, so I understand the Chicago way. I ask every day what's in it for the black people.
With Maze Jackson.
Come on, y'all.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, you got us around here telling.
Well, Maze, you're going to write a book, and then Ruthie is going to teach it in her sociology class.
All right. So, Todd, me and you, we've been talking a little bit, man. I can't even tell the story. Boy, I bet y'all wish y'all could hear what was going on off air this time, because this was some good stuff. Ruthie Moore, what's going on with you?
Nothing much. What's up, everybody? Happy Friday.
What you growing this weekend? Because I know you going to the country, ain't you?
You know, actually, I think I might cut my grass one more time, for real.
I heard you saying that.
Because I never go outside.
Ruthie, you cut your grass?
Sometimes, yeah. You got to do what you got to do. I got to get all the gas out the lawnmower.
You actually cut your own grass?
Oh, you're right.
Yes.
And you got to take the oil out.
I wish I didn't have to.
You gotta get we gotta teach you how to step your game up. You got to do better than that, man.
Listen,
Ruthie, when I was your age,
too. My sister helped though. I'm not even gonna stunt.
When I was your age, I liked doing that.
No, I don't like.
You don't like it?
Okay, Todd, you're okay.
I have some friends, Ruthie, that can help you.
Women,
I got some friends.
I think women who should. I think women are supposed to do the inside of the house. Let me say
I wish that was all my responsibility. I was going to actually hire like a landscaper. I thought about hiring a landscaper.
Black one, please.
Yeah.
Because it's hard, though. It's hard work.
I had a black one.
Okay. So that's crazy to me. So I just feel like women are supposed to not. I think the men. Okay, this might be wrong, but I think the men are supposed to cut the grass and the women are supposed to clean the house. Now, I'm not saying that I won't clean the house because I am a cleaner of the house. I wash dishes. I put clothes in the washer and dryer. But I do not. I would feel some kind of way. I really would.
Do you like cutting your grass?
I don't have to cut the grass anymore. The association cuts the grass. But I used to take a lot of pride in cutting grass. I really used to be like, I used to go cut my grass and go stand out there and be like, and stand in the middle of my yard and be like, aha! I kind of miss that. That's part of I used to do that.
Yeah.
Like I used to stand. You know what? James Big Slim Davis and his boys though. One day they all were posting pictures of their lawns and like what I thought was dope. And actually, I want to get us involved in this next year. Is I don't think that we get a lot of credit for our lawns. Like I think there are black people. Like if you go through Chatham. Like, the black people in Chatham be like, I feel like you could get shot walking on somebody's lawn.
That's why I got to keep my grass cut.
Man, but I love that. Like, what I love is driving through black neighborhoods. That's what I used to love about Pill Hill, right? Was you would drive through there and people had their little bushes done crazy. Right? There'll be little balls on them and you would be like, dang, look at this. And I'd be like, black people live here because, you know, where I used to live when we lived in the city, they used to we moved because they threw the trash out. But it would be beautiful. I really do one day. I swear to God. I want to walk out the house one day and it just be all black people with all their grass cut. And it be my neighborhood. Right? Like, I mean, I really like where I live. But I don't really get tired of looking at, like, it'd be like, good God. And then we got the Chinese lady got the nerve to say she felt like her life was threatened because she let her dog take a crap on my yard. I felt like your dog's life is about to be threatened. Don't eat the pork chop that's out there next time you dump on my lawn. Anyway, Ruthie, so you good?
Not the pork chop though.
Steak. I ain't giving it a steak. but boy, that dog will be asleep for a little while.
Keep it off my lawn.
Man, that's crazy. And then she had the nerve to talk about me in the association. Like, I felt threatened. Lady.
Did she pick the poop up?
What did the association say?
We'll have to talk about that. No.
Where's the proof?
Nuh-uh. The white people in the association be trying to gas me up. Right? Because they don't want to say it. So they be like, let the angry black man do it. And it's like, I ain't even mad. Like, I don't even be mad. But like, I don't even really be mad. Like, honestly, guys, I'm like really pleasant because I really don't have anything to be upset about. Like, I'm upset about stuff, but you know what I mean.
Right.
I like on a day-to-day basis, I try to be cordial. You know, I'm the good morning. Hey, everybody. What's crack-a-lacking? And
Maze, how they be amping you up, though? What they be saying? Tell them, Maze.
Oh, they be like, Maze, did you see? I'm gonna email you after the meeting. Let me text you. Yeah, and then like when I'm pulling out of my garage and I'm trying to leave, it'd be like the white lady will pull up and be like, Maze, do you know that the Chinese lady said that she and right, and they'd be like, you know, I'm me and my and I'd be like,
I'm gonna text you, Maze.
Yes, and I'd be like, you know what?
Do they be texting you during the meeting?
No, they don't.
Okay.
They know better.
They ain't take it that far.
No, they don't text me during the meeting. Don't text me too. Like I'd be like, right? It's crazy though, but it's
lady
like
feels so comfortable talking about you. In front of them,
and then they look. But here go the thing: y'all move to the neighborhood. They scared to walk their dog outside of the gate. Like, why you move over here if you scared to walk your dog outside the gate? And can I just say, outside the gate is really nice. It's really nice. I mean, I'm saying like about as now. If you go the other way,
it gets a little sketchy.
But if you go east, you walk your dog east. It's pretty. It's pretty like okay. Now if you walk your dog west of Western, but if you white, you straight anyway.
You're right.
Like people be like, hold it, stop. Let the white people pass.
Don't want no trouble.
No trouble. All right, Sonia, how you feeling this morning?
Hey guys.
All right. I would like to send a big shout out to the Sonias, the Wonder Twins, as they were at once known for the Ain't No Future in Your Slackin' Vote shirts that we are wearing. Sonia stopped in. She told us she's gonna have the treasurer come on by. She thinks she's gonna have the treasurer come on by. So that'll be cool. Right?
Yeah.
We can save some homes and get some stuff done. All right. Everybody's here locked and low. Let's get the plane up to 60,000 feet. We are up and away. Okay, y'all. Real quick. Did you all check out where's Belmont University in Mississippi? Where's Belmont? Anyway, Belmont University, I was checking out. Yeah, I was doing double duty yesterday. First of all, I had to. Did y'all see City So Real last night? Did y'all see the sneak peek? Yeah, I'm tripping.
Nashville, Tennessee.
No.
Okay. No, you didn't watch.
Send me screenshots.
So you didn't watch City So Real, y'all? So yeah, last night, just in case y'all didn't know, I made my National Geographic debut. That's just because y'all wasn't influential. You weren't part of the influencer group that watched last night.
My fam, we're all ready for Sunday.
That's all right. Sunday night. Sunday night, the big world premiere. Da-da-da-da. City So Real, y'all. It's going down Sunday night. Y'all make sure y'all check it out on Nat Geo. So I was watching that yesterday.
I'll try that because yesterday I had the
debate.
No, I had the Giants defense, so I was trying to see if I was gonna get any points in fantasy.
How'd that work out for you? That's what you get for selling me out for the Giants. Yeah. Anyway, City So Real, but also the presidential debate. Presidential debate happened last night. I watched it. Who you think won? Stop before you say. We're gonna talk about it for the social media question of the day, so we're gonna let that be. Did you see the mayor is shutting the city down and the state is shutting down as well? Let me just tell you that the response by business and people alike are more similar to Donald Trump than Joe Biden. Does that make sense? Like the way people are responding to the shutdown in spite of knowing what COVID is, seems like people are more in the Trump column than the Biden column in response to how they want to deal with it.
You right.
Even as we prepare to send kids back to school, shout out to Dr. Janice Jackson. They putting a plan together. Even as the Big Ten starts tomorrow. Big Ten football starts tomorrow. And even as every indicator that we've heard says that we are, and we were told about it in March, that we were going to be going back into what could be the highest phase of COVID. We are still moving forward. Now, tonight, curfew back in effect. Curfew that clearly some of the rules are just unclear to me. But we're going to talk about that at a different point. But it just seems like the world or the United States is not taking the pandemic as seriously as there's something isn't congruent, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Like the puzzle is not fitting together for me unless money is the great equalizer.
The rhetoric is not matching the actions.
Bam. All right, we're going to talk about that. Also, did you see the mayor blames the Rom for hiring Eddie Johnson?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But she kept him.
He said,
she ain't wrong, though. He ain't even apply for the job.
I remember that. I'm going to tell you, when we come back.
She is right. I mean, he picked, it was like, okay, here's your group of applicants. And he said, come here.
Yeah. Well,
But the mayor
actually, you know, when we get off the break, I'm going to tell y'all how that really went down. Y'all want me to tell y'all how that really went down?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you when we go on the break. But before we do that, did you see the police killed Marcellus Stinnett, 19, in Waukegan? I think he was shot in the back of the head. While his girlfriend was in the car.
Yeah.
One of the founding black families from Waukegan, friends with the mayor, shot, murdered in Waukegan. Brothers was marching. Hey, y'all, and by the way, today is decision day. Are you sending your children back to school or not for CPS? CPS, Sonia, you're shaking your head no.
Nope.
Okay, and on that note, we'll be right back after these messages with the social media question of the day.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Chicago famous with Mike Love and Diz.
The destined legend himself, Leon Rogers.
Yeah. What's going on, Playboy?
Man, listen, honored to be here with radio legends, man. Two brothers I looked up for and patted my success.
You walked away from your day job and you went straight in the
brother, first time somebody called me to do the gig, they was like, hey, I got my grandmama's 85-year-old birthday party. She's turning 85. She has a brain tumor. I mean, now she's not going to be able to hear because she's in a coma, but she'll be laying in the room and we just want the good vibes. Well, what is it? $75. We need you to do an hour. I'm there because of the passion of wanting to do the comedy. Yeah. So I quit. But when you quit that job, and the job I had was decent. My father, every young black man should have a dad or a father figure in his life. Yes. When I say he went off on me.
My son works.
When I told him I quit to do comedy, mamas is always like, well, that's good, baby. You spread your wings. Realizing what God wants you to do.
Right.
My father like, you got to be the dumbest son of a bitch in the world. I can't believe you came from my ball sack. $65,000 a year. Me and your mama combined only make 80. You dumb mother. I mean, going off. Like, me and my pops actually kind of fell out.
You know, old school black fathers, old school mindset. They came up working. They know how hard it is.
Hands knuckles black. Hands look like he worked at the steel mill, like he was dipping them in the lava. So, he pissed. My hands manicured.
He's super cool and he know kung fu.
I'm clean. I work on computers.
Drives a $5,000 car and wears a $100 suit.
Right.
He like, I'm out here getting lung poisoning from inhaling all these steel mill fumes and touching people's mail. Look at my hands. I can't even pick up a fork and knife. Your mama got to cut my food for me. And you want to quit to do some damn comedy. He hell.
Chicago famous. 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I'm running for U.S. Senate for the state of Illinois. I will never give up on inclusion and equality, prison reform, reduced property taxes, and economic opportunity for all. I want to get to know your neighborhood and the problem that you face every day. And I want to serve every man, woman, and child in the state of Illinois. A vote for me is a vote for you.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
It's time for the social media question of the day. AM 1570 WBGX Harvey, Chicago. It's time for the social media question of the day.
Sonia, like, you gonna do this show? It's the Maze Jackson show.
Y'all talking between the breaks and we can't hear it. Y'all better come back on the mic.
It is the Maze Jackson show. It's the Maze Jackson show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Sonia, Escobar, Ruthie, Moore, Todd, Stroger.
Shout out to everybody calling off work today.
Oh, who calling off work today?
I don't know. Somebody out there is, I bet.
Oh, y'all better go. But y'all call. How you gonna call off in your living room?
To the living room.
I can't go downstairs today.
I think I'm having internet connectivity issues.
That's real.
Hey, check this out. Shout out to the Bigs yesterday.
On the soil.
On the soil, did they? Man, they really had a great interview with Antoine Walker. Can I tell you how much I did not like Antoine Walker during his heyday in the clubs? He was really the worst. He really was. And I'm gonna tell you that I did not.
You talking about in a club like partying club?
Like, you know, like when everybody.
Okay.
So during our, during the late 90s, early 2000s, I mean, obviously we didn't have Antoine Walker money, but we did. Everybody kind of met up in the VIP, right? And it was like everybody had their own crew. Everybody was balling out. It was like everybody was doing their thing. And so in your interactions, there was the people that you could bump into, and not bump into, but like be like everybody was cool because we see each other all the time. We always in the VIP. And then it was the people who was always like they had to get the extra special. Like really, dog.
Just drunk off the power.
Right, like we know you got like a $90 million contract. So yes, you can outball everybody, but like, is that really fun?
Be cool, bro.
Right. We all here, I also remember he got tied up in the basement. Remember you don't remember?
Oh, you remember he got robbed?
You remember when the hobos robbed him?
Yeah.
Man, I mean, because they used to stunt. Man, anyway, that interview yesterday had me re-look at him. I felt like you watched a man who learned a lesson or learned some lessons. Mm-hmm. And it was a really good interview. And he went for like an hour and a half.
It was very primary sources.
What do you mean by that, Ruthie? Help us understand. What does that mean?
Like they were there together, so their conversation was from their perspectives of like what happened. So if you know the time that they're speaking about, you can take your own historical perspective and get their primary source lens on it because they were there.
Ruthie Moore.
I didn't see that. I'm going to have to look it up, but
you have to.
He always reminded me of one of the guys who, even though he went to college, he never really grew up while he was there.
You know what? It's hard to grow up when you like the number one person in the world and everybody's like you the greatest in the world. And I mean, it was really
I can
good.
imagine,
It was
I
a
guess.
good interview yesterday.
You
Shout
talk
out
a
to
lot
the
about
bigs, man.
business.
Shout out to the and it was really interesting on how he lost his money, which wasn't the way that we actually thought. Right? It wasn't the Negro deal. It was real estate and not watching your friends. Aha.
Real estate speculation is the riskiest investment.
Man.
Period.
Man, I'm gonna tell you. Shout out to the bigs. Shout out to the bigs. Gene. Man, shout out to Gene and Terrence, right? That was that I enjoyed that yesterday. I'm gonna tell you what. This week I have enjoyed a lot of the program. Like, not listened with an ear of like, what can we do better? How can we make it? But like, where I found myself responding, wanting to even type and respond to the messages. That was a good.
This may not come up again, so I'm going to say this quickly. People don't generally think about this, but your when you are making up your investments for your future, real estate can be a part of it, but there's a little thing they say with your age. You take 100, you subtract your age, and then what you get left, let's see, so I'm 57, right? So I'm 57, right? So 57% of my portfolio could be like stocks and real estate, and then all the rest would be something really safe like bonds.
Okay, got it.
So most people don't put their money in that safe stuff because it doesn't have the big return.
Yeah, I got it. I felt like that. That's kind of, we need to do some investment stuff. We got to get Rendell Solomon on the show. We got to get Rendell. So somebody remind me, but we need to reach out to Rendell Solomon because he was getting kids to invest. I need to get my kids investing, and we need to talk about that because I always nod my head and be like, huh? All right. Who won the presidential debate yesterday? Who won?
Ruthie.
You know what? Check me out today. Fox 32, 9:15 a.m. I will be recapping the debate. But here's my summation.
What you think?
My summation is, first of all, do no harm. If Joe Biden needed to do no harm, then I'm gonna say he was right there. I think everybody was waiting for him to make the big stick my foot in his mouth. I don't think he did that. I actually thought that Joe Biden performed very, very well. Let me say that. And I almost said he won. So I'm gonna say if I was looking at this from a national perspective, and I'm looking at the two people presented there, I still think President Trump looks bigger and more commanding and stronger, but I did feel like Joe Biden had a command of the issues. Now, I think President Trump was talking, I think Joe Biden was trying to talk to the nation. I think President Trump was talking to the states he needs. Where I feel like Joe Biden stepped in it is nuanced. He stepped in it with the oil issue, knowing that you need Pennsylvania, right? We want to cancel the oil issue. So buy Texas, buy Louisiana, now he had all of them, but the Gulf states just locked back in, right? Because
Biden wasn't getting Texas.
I got you. I got you. But you know people like to hope and dream.
Yes.
But now you got Pennsylvania, right, in this mix. Fracking, I kept saying to myself, why are they talking about fracking? Who cares about fracking? And then I realized that fracking is what's driving the gas prices down, which is people mining in these places again, like Ohio, Pennsylvania, etc., where people who are experiencing some level of abundance, or not abundance, but recurrence. And so I think that Joe Biden kept talking about, I will be the president of all the country. I don't think that the coasts make a difference. I think Trump was fighting for battleground politics. Let me also say, I I was waiting for President Trump to use the crime bill. I don't know if he was as effective in deploying it as he could have been. And I think that Joe Biden saying that was a mistake and saying it twice was also something that we don't see, and I thought he did a good job there in responding to Trump on it. Where I almost jumped off the cliff. Biden says the first thing I do when I get in office is we owe the immigrants. We're going to pass immigration reform and a path to citizenship. He said, we owe these people. And I said to myself, insert reparations here. If I was to tell you who won, let me say I thought the president, as I said yesterday, I did not think he would be able to exercise the self-control. I think he presented and exercised self-control as much as he could. I am looking forward to seeing if there will be a comparative face map like they did for Kamala. Because I am going to tell you, them faces had me cracking up. Woo! Lord, I should have been hanging with my cousin yesterday. Because them faces were hilarious. Having watched The Apprentice, I know this is going to be terrible. Having watched The Apprentice, I do not think Donald Trump is as stupid as everybody thinks he is. I really don't. And when I give you a summary, Joe Biden won the national debate. He handled himself well. Trump is laser focused on winning the battleground states. And the issues that we heard him reiterate, that for those of us who live in Illinois who would be completely oblivious to fracking, right? Oil. Like, all we cool with electric cars. Right? I'm cool with it.
Yeah, me too.
But if you live in a place like Ohio, where places in your rural counties outside of Cleveland and you already got a black male problem, be interesting to see how it is. I would like to hear what you all think when we come back, as well as let's open up the phone lines. And I want to know who won the presidential debate yesterday. I would say for national appearance sakes, Joe Biden did. I would say for battleground nuanced arguments, it remains to be seen. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll find out what Ruthie and Todd think. Plus, we'll take your calls. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. This is the Maze Jackson Show.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. People in Illinois have been crying out for justice, equality, and fairness from their government for years. And it keeps getting worse. Unfair taxes, laws that unjustly imprison nonviolent offenders. The rich get richer, and the everyday people suffer. It's time for a change, and with your help, I'm here to do it. I'm asking for your support as I run for a U.S. Senator in 2020.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
Hey y'all, this is Salim Muwakil from Muwakil's World. In case you missed the last discussion, this is what you missed.
There was a time when there was a large-scale mythology that African people had no endurance. We were only good for sprinting.
Right.
And that was our forte. Other than that, we were useless in marathon races. Establishing your patrimony on the land. If you bury the dead, that means that this land is forever in your family.
Who are our ancestors, really? We are the living ancestors to a whole genealogical line going back hundreds of thousands, millions of years that we carry within us living today. Everyone who preceded us. Mm-hmm. However, that conception took place, whether it was violently, with rape, or whatever the case, but we are them living today.
That's why it's important to understand our capacity, man. Our capacity is unlimited. We have unlimited potential.
Absolutely.
So make sure you tune in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1 p.m. on What's in It for the Black People Media.
It's time for the social media question of the day.
You are tuned in to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd, Stroger, Ruthie Moore, Sonia Escobar in the background, killing the beats. Hey, did you see President Trump said he had done more for blacks, the most for blacks since Abraham Lincoln? I was gonna say
Thank you, Mr. Trump.
Now I told you all, I reached out to both. Remember, I be getting these texts from everybody. So I sent the text. They sent me. They asked me about, President Trump was like, Maze Jackson, will you vote for me this year? Blah 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 blah. I was like, man, what's in it for the black people? Then I get this email. Right? Get an email. Todd, I don't want you to read the name, but I just want you to verify the email. Email?
You know I can't see that.
Okay, get close. Get close.
Todd, get your magnifying glass out.
Okay, Ruthie, I just want you to verify. White House, right? White House.
I got 2020, so I can read it from over there. Okay, good.
All right. So I'm like, where is this dude coming with from the I've done the most? And this is historic accomplishments for the African American community, according to President Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Black American unemployment has increased, but I took just some highlights that they put in there.
Mm-hmm.
Black American employment has increased by 1.3 million in the past 5 months. This represents the recovery of a roughly 4 in 10 Black American jobs lost during the pandemic. The president promised in 2020 to create 3 million jobs for the black community, 500,000 new black-owned businesses, and to increase access to capital in black communities by $500 million. The president signed into law the First Step Act. As a result, more than 3,000 Americans have been released from prison, and 90% of those who have had their sentences reduced are black Americans. The legislation also eliminated the 3 strikes. The president, now in that, let me just say that Joe Biden said that President Obama released 38,000 people. I don't know if that's true, but he's 3,000, 38,000, whatever. So the president also formed the Federal Interagency Crime Prevention and Improving Reentry Council to create more second chances for Americans returning home from prison. In regards to addressing racism, bigotry, and violence, they said that he has launched Operation Legend, and he signed an executive order on safe policing for safe communities. Now, what he says that is it will encourage law enforcement agencies to implement best practices and protect communities they serve. Under the order, the Attorney General will allocate certain grant funding to only those law enforcement agencies that meet high standards, including around use of force and de-escalation techniques as credentialed by reputable independent bodies. The order provides incentives for law enforcement agencies to use nationwide database to track terminations, criminal convictions, and civil judgments against law enforcement officers for excessive use of force, which will create accountability between agencies. In regards to racism, President Trump in September 2020 signed a resolution and expressed his desire to see the KKK prosecuted as domestic terrorists. President Trump in August 29, 2019, in one voice, our nation must condemn racism, bigotry, and white supremacy. These sinister ideologies must be defeated. Hate has no place in America. Hatred warps the mind, ravages the heart, and devours the soul. Now, you saw this came to me from you. You're verifying where this came from, right?
Right.
This is what they sent to me as their response to my text. During his first, President Trump signed into law the Future Act, which made permanent $255 million in annual STEM funding for minority-serving colleges, including roughly $85 million specifically allocated to HBCUs. President Trump signed the executive order to move the federal HBCU initiative back to the White House, ensuring HBCUs were a key priority and establishing the president's board of advisors on HBCUs. The first framework for the development of federal HBCU competitive strategy, which includes 32 federal departments and agencies, which now have plans to improve the conditions under which HBCUs compete for federal resources and opportunities. Whew, this is a lot of stuff we're reading here.
Ooh, he didn't did a lot for black people. Ooh.
No, I'm not going. No, I'm not going to suggest. I'm saying I got a response. This is my response. He relaunched the HBCU Capital Finance Board to make millions of dollars available to support HBC's young long-term growth. He signed the Farm Bill, which included $100 million for scholarships, research, and centers of excellence at HBCU land-grant universities. The Trump administration forgave $322 million in disaster relief, and he participated in the National HBCU Week Conference. Healthcare and COVID response. The White House has provided at least 550,000 Black American stakeholders with comprehensive direct updates on preparedness, response, and mitigation efforts. Hosted a listening session with African American leaders to discuss in Michigan and discuss. That's probably some preachers. All right. The Trump administration is distributing over 500,000 rapid coronavirus tests to 107 HBCUs in an effort to prevent potential COVID-19 outbreaks in high-risk communities. Working with Black medical schools to fund and scale local efforts in communities that reach communities of color. That's nervousness. But you know why they do that? Because at the Black HBCUs, the communities of color are populating them now.
Yeah.
So you better know it, Maze.
The administration announced $40 million initiative partnering with Morehouse School of Medicine to fight COVID-19. The Trump administration is leading unprecedented activity in research, medical education, and models of care to support people with sickle cell anemia. Honored, annually recognizes, blah, 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 blah. President Trump has... promotion and pinning of retired Tuskegee Airman General Colonel Charles McGee, promoting him to Brigadier General. President Trump signed into law the Hidden Figures Congressional Gold Medal Act, awarding Congressional Gold Medal to Katherine Johnson, Christine Darden, Dorothy Vaughan, Mary Johnson, both of the last two posthumously, in the recognition of the other women who contributed to the success of NASA during the space race. NASA headquarters are named after Mary Jackson, the first Black American female at NASA. The commission he has created signed into law the Commission on Social Status of Black Men and Boys Act, which will study and make recommendations to address the conditions affecting Black men and boys. Goodness. Signed the executive order for the National Garden of American Heroes to pay tribute to historical figures including Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, and Jackie Robinson, and signed into law the Martin Luther King National Historic Park, creating Georgia's first national historic park. That's what they sent me as they think. What a loser.
That was a lot.
Stop being facetious, Ruthie.
No. It was like you read a lot, like, for real.
It might be a lot, but, I would think if he had done nothing, then I would be like, what the heck? This is something more of what I expect out of having the office itself. The office itself does certain things. So I'm not saying that he didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm. What is up with the comparison, y'all think, to Abraham Lincoln? Is it related to the Emancipation Proclamation?
No, it's related to his head is so big he can barely get it in the White House.
I think here's what I think President, this is what I would say in his comparison. And I do believe Todd is on point. That, how can I put this? It is the classic give a person an inch, give them a string, and they want to be a cowboy. So, I would say that as we said, this is a pretty extensive list. I'm just saying it's pretty extensive compared to what I would have thought they would have responded with. I thought they was gonna say, "We let the black lady out of jail and be happy." I really did. This was way more extensive than I had any thought that they would come back to. Not that I'm giving it any substance, because you know you can't do that no way. Now, what I believe President Trump probably is trying to communicate is that we really have gotten nothing from the Democratic Party since LBJ, tangibly. Right? Because all of these were easy to walk through holes that anybody should have been able to fill. Like, he shouldn't have been able to put any of this on the paper, in my estimation. Right? He shouldn't have been able to put anything about him helping HBCUs and making their funding permanent or anything like that. Right? Again, a gaping hole that he allowed them to walk through. When you read the Commission on Men and Boys, Black Men and Boys, as we talk about, again, him comparing himself to Abraham Lincoln is hit a lack of reverence to what the black struggle really means and what black people have really been through. It is a minimization of that. That stated, I would argue that most white people minimize our struggle, have minimized the pain and struggling. Why can't you just get over it?
Get over slavery.
And I think that was articulated in a Trump way in that. At the same time, I also believe that the Democrats left a hole. And I might argue that if this list is correct, it might put him between LBJ and now. What would Obama's list look like if it did affordable care? We're going to say affordable care. I'm going to give you Affordable Care Act. I'm not. But I would ask you to say, give me that list. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back. Huh? What happened? Oh, she said, Ruthie, you got to tell everybody you got to go to the beverage shop before we go.
Hold on. Because y'all know every Friday,
I got to get my... Oh, we got to get that before 9 o'clock today.
Listen,
every Friday, Ruthie gets full.
Every Friday, we take y'all to a beverage shop on the South Side.
Just one.
And I heard that this particular beverage shop got a black-owned section with some red, black, and green flags.
It's everywhere. It's all through the store.
Can anybody guess what the name of that beverage shop is?
Kimbar.
Kimbar
Beverage Shop. Let me tell y'all what. It's Friday. We finna get our Kimbar on. Todd, you know we gotta go see. Hey, y'all, send a big shout out to Jonathan Swain though, and the family of Jonathan Swain. They lost their dad this past week. He was actually supposed to be on Tennille's show. So prayers and shouts out. And,
most definitely. I played golf with him once at Jackson Park. He had me laughing the whole 18 holes.
Look, y'all, we'll talk about it more when we come back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break. AM 1570, WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
WIFTBPM.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Youth events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black youth members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black youth-led organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I'm running for U.S. Senate for the state of Illinois. I will never give up on inclusion and equality, prison reform, reduce property taxes, and economic opportunity for all. I want to get to know your neighborhood and the problem that you face every day. And I want to serve every man, woman, and child in the state of Illinois. A vote for me is a vote for you.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
Are you curious to explore the intellectual currents that channel our thoughts and frame our reality? Have you ever meditated for relaxation and accidentally discovered the universe in the process? These matters and many more you may never have even thought of will be yours to explore as you come with me into Muwakil's world. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1. Right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for Black people in the world.
What's in it for the black people? Cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to lies, can't doze no more. I told y'all this, that dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies of the politicians. We need money, no symbolism. It's Maze and Sonia and Ruthie and Todd explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' start. They ain't tryna help us, they ain't tryna do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressor to solve us.
What's in it for the black people? All the lies we didn't heard before. Time to pay attention, you gotta do more than listen. Need some action with it on the count of 3. Let's go.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, Miss Ruthie Moore, Sonia Escobar. Did we get an answer on who won the debate? Did we get any calls? Of course, Frank called, but hold on, Frank. We got to hold on for you real second. Who won, Todd? I think we know your answer.
Well, I don't think anybody won. I think they talked to their groups. I don't think anybody lost, I would say. They spoke to their people and
Kept it moving.
kept moving. Yep.
Okay. What about you can't vote you can't vote Harris. You're voting Biden Harris. You can't vote for vice president. You vote for president. So so anyway, I'll be looking at civics is so important in our country. Ruthie, who won?
Well, I think that the true winner of the debate, I'm going to agree with Angela, and the moderator won.
Shout out! Did you see him show the moderator respect?
Did y'all see how they was cutting his mic?
I saw him cut it twice.
But the first time, you see how he looked at it?
No, I did not. I was looking at it like, what happened? Oh, dang, that was it. I missed it. Did you see him? He complimented old girl too. What's her name? I mean, not
Kristen.
Kristen.
Welker.
Welker. She's not married to Wes, is she? You know Wes Welker likes sisters. No, you know what I'm talking about? Wes Welker from the Patriots.
Yeah, the
MVP.
Man, that's old time.
I thought she did such a good job, though.
Huh?
He's still playing.
Wes Walker, no.
Yes, Wes Walker is still playing.
No, you're thinking of Gronkowski.
No.
Wes Walker had so many concussions. Ain't no way they let him back on that
Google,
field.
Wes Walker is playing. He's catching balls from.
I do not Google.
Yes, he is catching balls from.
That's for the rest of the drones. I do not use Google.
So Ruthie. So wait, did you tell me who won?
Yeah, the moderator.
Oh.
I think that the moderator did a really, really good job of letting them respond to each other, but also asking follow-up questions. I thought her timing was really, really good. I thought she was firm and also fair. And I really did appreciate her ability to navigate Trump.
I think
So I think the moderator won.
Okay.
I think there's something to that because after the other moderators got such bad press, you know, if you could handle this, then people will be talking about you for a long time.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'm gonna tell you, I thought that the debate. Oh wait, he's a coach for the 49ers.
Yeah, he's the 49ers wide receiver coach.
Oh, then I'm thinking of not Wes Welker. There's another one.
Gronkowski.
Nope. What's the other little short white guy?
Man, there's plenty of those.
No, but the short white guy who catches everything.
Edelman.
That's what I was thinking. Julian Edelman. Okay, I'm sorry. You won. All right, look. So I'm going to.
It wasn't a competition.
It was always.
It's
always
a
competition. It is always a competition. Always. And I think if you don't recognize that, then you get beat.
No, I won that. How could I get beat?
Dang.
Actually, you see, but that's
see,
you can't race. You don't. If you ain't in the race, then you didn't even know you won. So I could have just took your trophy and left.
Take the trophy. I don't need no damn trophy.
He don't need no symbol.
I don't need no stinking trophy. All right, if we ain't getting no calls on that one, let me do this. Let me go here. Let's go to shutting back down.
Stop.
Shut it down. So apparently, first of all, before I even get into this, Oh, Frank is on the. Oh, Frank, my fault.
Yeah, Frank's still
Frank, come on, man. What's up, man? Frank, welcome back, man. Talk to us. What's going on, my brother?
Oh, is that me?
That's you. You the only Frank I know.
Morning.
I thought I heard you call someone else. You guys, excuse me. I'm munching on my pancake straps and the eggs right now, but I took a break.
What kind of sausage, man?
No, don't talk about food. My stomach's starting to run.
We need somebody to bring us breakfast, man. I'm so hungry.
We hungry.
I was coming through hot food, so I know how to make pancakes.
You know how to pancakes? I make some pancakes too, man.
Good morning, Brother Mays.
We need the Woodlawn to bring us some food.
Sonia, how y'all doing?
What's up?
We doing
Brother
good.
Mays, I watched the entire debate yesterday. I didn't have to take a restroom break. I heard and listened to everything. And I must say that Joe Biden did win, hands down. And there was a loser. I'm going to tell you how. I'm just going to make out 2 points because I know other people want to call them. I think Joe Biden's strongest point was each time he came on the mic, he was fact-checking Donald Trump right there, exposing for the lie he had just told, and kept saying, that's not true. Here's the evidence, okay? The second point I want to make, I think I hear what you're saying about you felt about the Hispanics and the you know what I'm saying, the immigration and everything. But see, what I understand, and I'm pretty sure you do too, man, he can't afford to lose the vast majority of Hispanic votes. He cannot afford to lose the vast majority of black votes. He got to let them know what's in it for the Hispanic people. And I think he told them exactly what they wanted to hear. There will be a clear path to citizenship to those who will here righteously. And he zeroed in and told the doctors and the families of the doctors exactly what they wanted to hear. We owe these people. What he was saying was not reparation. I believe he was talking about the fact that the vast majority of them are on the front line helping us fight this epidemic. Okay? What we owe them is they are going
is this
to
thing on? Wait a minute.
They're going to get automatic citizenship.
Hold it, Frank. Now, Frank. Now you know I'm your man, and I let you roll all the time, and I don't really fight you. But now there ain't nobody on the front line fighting with us. They don't be like, nah, don't take this clinic. We ain't gonna take this drive-up facility with no identification. Y'all, no, I'm not honoring that. We do not see anybody at the front of our lines when it's us getting killed, except us. It's Miracle gets hit in the mouth with the stick.
Brother Mays. He's talking about in the health field. Now, I come through California Garden with my rehabilitation. A lot of Hispanics, especially females, they're all working in the health field, and that's what he's talking about. And there are a lot of them, Mays. And, well, anyway, he told them exactly what they wanted to hear. These doctors and women are going to get an automatic citizenship. And this is what they want to hear, and I believe
what do we want to hear, Frank? What did he tell us that we wanted to hear? What do we want to hear? What did you hear that you wanted to hear, black people? That like, we always discount ourselves first. Like, straight up. He can't afford to lose, so he can cater to everybody. Lie to me too, then. Lie to me too. You mean to tell me we can't even we ain't good for a lie? We ain't good for a lie. Like, go to the live line. Byron, I don't know what to do with myself.
Good morning.
Good morning, Byron. Who won, Byron?
I say it's a toss-up. I'll be honest, it's a toss-up. But I want to go back to Jesse Jackson. When he did so many things for black folks that told him that he could walk on water. All I'm saying to Todd is, you read off so many things that the Trump administration did with less than 5% of the black vote in the last election. That list is so long, I almost went to sleep on it. And then you ask Todd, for what has Biden do in the 47 years and the 2 times he ran for president before and lost? And no one answered, what has he done? Give the boy with 5% of the votes is trying his best to do things for us, but we don't want to give him no credit for it. And why is that, Maze? You keep asking
why you asking me, man?
Because if I ask Todd, he's gonna cut me off. I gotta be neutral. I gotta be fair.
You gotta be fair. What? You sound like you don't like that idea. But what has Biden done? I don't know. Shoot, I keep on telling you, Biden ain't paying me. But and I haven't looked it up. Ruthie, haven't you looked up Biden blackness?
Let me look up Biden black people and see what come up.
Okay,
hey, actually, I'm going to do that. That sounds interesting.
What has Biden done for black people? Because Biden black people gonna be like, we should, right? I think you gotta go, but see what he got. You know, he got a diaspora plan. So here's what I would suggest. I would suggest that watching that debate, I felt like Joe Biden won. If we were in a normal circumstance, I would say Joe Biden won that debate hands down. I think we're in a different world. And therefore I think that Joe Biden, they both talked to the states that they needed to talk to. Mm-hmm. I am not clear though how this pandemic is going to play into this. And I think
that's the deciding factor, the pandemic.
And I think one team is betting on death and one team is betting on life. Mm-hmm. I think Trump is betting on life or selling life and not being defeated. And I think the Democrats are betting on the death toll being enough to scare people into moving forward.
You know what? One of the lines that I heard is that Trump says that Biden is trying to shut down the country, and Biden said, no, I'm trying to shut down the virus.
I got you.
So that was pretty interesting.
I think it was interesting if you understand nuance.
That was interesting.
But I think we're going to talk about it a little bit more because we'll expand it when we come to shutting down Chicago and our response to shutting down Chicago. And I would argue that almost every restaurant, business, interview person that I have seen is in line with Trump's view of America in a pandemic compared to the Democrats. It's interesting when we talk about it on a national level and then when we talk about how it plays. It reminds me, Todd, of when you say everybody hates their other politicians but love their own.
Right.
That's the same way I feel like this virus is playing out. Let's talk about it more when we come back because we're going to talk about Chicago being shut down.
Oh, and I meant to say,
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
The biggest threat to Illinois citizens from Washington is health care costs and policies. Senior citizens have their Social Security reduced from Medicaid. And some of our senior citizens live off $3 a week for food allowance. Working families are facing bankruptcy over policy and limit and cost. Drug prices require a decision between food and Medicaid. I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. Vote for me and send me to Washington. God bless.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
Call in and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. That's 872-259-7474. Give us a call and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474.
Boys, step aside. The Radio Rookie is in the building. The Book of Dawn, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on What's In It for the Black People Media. Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday.
WIFTBPM.
I think that the black community is starting to realize the mayor may not necessarily be an ally just because she is black.
Live from What's In It for the Black Media Studio.
Our representatives don't necessarily get a pass just because they're black. We've got a challenge in the black part of Chicago of holding black politicians accountable.
You're listening to The Maze Jackson Show.
This is Chicago, so I understand the Chicago way. I ask every day what's in it for the black people.
With Maze Jackson.
Come on, y'all.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd, Stroger, Miss Ruthie Moore, and y'all you gotta stop by Kimbark Beverage Shop. Make sure you get there before 9 p.m. because after 9 p.m. there are no more sales of wine and spirits. Whether you're inside the bar, well, if you're at the bar and it's only a bar, you can't even come inside. Restaurants open till 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock bar curfew. The mayor says, well, first of all, Dr. Arwadi said don't have people over. Then the mayor said yesterday you can have people over until 10 p.m. Then they got to go home. Huh? Wait, excuse me. So it's moments like that that make me wonder, is Trump crazy? Right? Like, here's what I find when I watch the response from business owners and people here, and their response to the mayor's shutting down of the city and closing of the city, and these what seem to be in some cases arbitrary rules that do not always make sense. Explain to me right now how even as we are maximizing the disease, the virus, the Big Ten is starting sports tomorrow. Big Ten. The mayor is saying that restaurants can be open, but only until 10, even as schools are about to open. So here's the rules. Bars, outdoors only if you don't serve food. Restaurants can be open till 10. You can have liquor sales till 9. Non-essential businesses are only able to be open or have to be closed from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Then you can have up to 6 people at your home until 10 p.m.
You mean your house?
What other house you got? Your second home?
Sure. You mean that they are telling you how many? Is that recommended, or are you gonna get a fine?
They ain't talking about your summer home in Vermont. They're talking about the one
Right. They talking about
Not here.
Think about this.
That's a little far reaching.
How is that enforced? Now, I'm going to tell you, the moment somebody tells me what I can do in my house, I'm going to tell you, I feel like you're getting me close. I feel like you're treading on me.
Don't tread on me, bro.
Right. It's going to be a don't tread on me, bro.
Really, I think that is the precipice for being able to break up parties and things like that.
I got you.
I'll tell you what's going on here. Is America has done a crappy job, and that's why we're in such bad shape. If you look at the other industrialized nations, they ain't got these problems except for Sweden, but Sweden was just stupid. They were like, we ain't doing nothing, and now they're suffering for it. So this is what happens when you like, well, I want to appease the business people, and so now the business people still aren't getting anything because we have to close it again. So, sometimes, what did your grandmother tell you? Take your medicine now so you won't be sick later? She didn't say that, but it's something like that.
So let me ask you a question. How many Americans, what role in our safety do we play?
Well, I just remember something. Castor oil tastes awful.
Man, and I'm going to tell you, I might rather be sick than taste that castor oil.
Yeah, that's right.
Y'all ever got sweet oil put in y'all ear?
Yep.
No.
Yeah, yep. Lay down, man. Ruthie, you too country. You've been in the country too long. Coming out with hey, y'all ever kill a chicken? You want to see a dead body? So, for some reason, when I hear the president talk, I feel like he's talking directly to issues like this.
He's bold enough to say it. He's bold enough to say, we have to learn to live with this virus.
Bold enough? Is that more like stupid enough to say that?
No. Because Trump actually said it, but everybody else is subtly doing that by...
You mean like other governors?
Exactly. Other states, other cities. They saying we got to learn to live with this because we got to open back up these schools. We got to open back up these businesses, but they're not going to say it the way that Trump says it.
They're trying to force herd immunity on us, which basically means eventually your relative with the respiratory problem and your grandmother's going to die, but that's okay.
So this thing is scalable to me, right? I don't think at this point, besides around y'all, you have to worry about me wearing a mask. I'm masking up. I think when I go into the store with everything that has happened, you don't have to tell me to put on a mask. I would honestly argue. I went to Peach yesterday, and everybody had a mask on. Nobody, and most of them were properly worn, and nobody was snitching about having to wear it. Then there's the city's responses, and the state responses, and the national responses. I think we can cancel out the national. So I think it's on the state, city, and personal. I don't know if I believe that we're supposed to hide inside.
Let me tell you why we can't cancel out the national, because that is what so we can't cancel the national because that is the reason why then a state can say, we ain't got to close up all the way, but we going to put some type of plan in place because there is no national plan. So in the absence of a national plan, a state and a city can pretty much tell you whatever they want to tell you. And then they can say that that's good enough because at least we got a plan. So I think without a plan, we get these restrictions that are kind of invasive, but we got to go with it because ain't no national plan.
And I think
But
if I'm
I understand, but I look at it differently. Without a national plan, you got people running around without masks all the way, and now we're still in crappy shape.
And I look at it like if I'm Trump, I can put it on the governors and say they running around here letting your states go out of control. I feel like there's this whole circle, right? And I think and I think every time an irrational.
But you just talk to your base with this kind of stuff.
I agree, but right now I think that's why I think this is where I think Joe Biden is making the wrong play. Joe Biden, in my estimation, is talking to one America. There is no one America anymore. There is two Americas.
True, there's never been one America.
Well, however, the concept of them and us and red and blue, and it's a mixture, right? I think there is a whole them versus us thing happening, and some of it is not just race related. There is a feeling that I've disenfranchised people who think that somebody making $50,000 a year is rich. That's black or white.
Mm-hmm.
Is almost in my side lining up on the Trump side. That, or you in the case of Trump recognizes that there's two Americas. He needs to win the red states. The Democrats are trying to sell the concept of one America in the Joe Biden thing. I don't believe, and every time a Chicago mayor makes a statement that says you can't have people over at your house till 6 o'clock, after 6 o'clock, it then points to all of those people in the red states like Ohio and in those suburban areas where he needs to come. He needs to turn out those people where you're talking about voter enthusiasm, etc. In my estimation, he's gassing them. He gets to point to them saying, not only will they have a mask, I almost feel like the Democrats would be the people trying to make me a handmaid and make the world Handmaid's Tales. Does it? It feels like the world is kind of flipped. And Trump, in my estimation, is talking to the people who don't want to be handmaids, while the Democrats are trying to make people handmaids. And I know it, and it's being done under the guise of safety, but the moment you tell me when you come into my living room, you are now reaching a whole different level of engagement with people saying, hell no, you can't tell. Lori Lightfoot can't tell me who could be at my house past 10 o'clock. Seriously. Like that in and of itself is because what happens when they do try to enforce it?
She ain't no Democrat.
Go to jail.
Todd, you trying to get yourself... Now, Todd, you try to avoid
I can't get in trouble.
It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break. Call in and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. That's 872-259-7474. Give us a call and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. AM 1570, WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
Are you curious to explore the intellectual currents that channel our thoughts and frame our reality? Have you ever meditated for relaxation and accidentally discovered the universe in the process? These matters and many more you may never have even thought of will be yours to explore as you come with me into Muwakil's world. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
What's up, good people? This is Herb Howard, one half of I Said What I Said. Make sure you tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. right here on What's in It for the Black People Media. It is intellectual thuggery at its finest. The Blackest Conversation, Herb Howard, Tucson Warner, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on What's in It for the Black People Media, 1 to 3 p.m.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show.
What's in it for the black people? What's in it? What's in it for the black people? I'm in it. What's in it for the black people? What's in it? What's in it for the black people? I'm in it. For the black people. For the black people. For the black people. For the black people. For the black people, for the black people, for the black people, for the black people. What's in it for the black people? Let's hear it. What's in it for the black people? Don't fear it. What's in it for the black people? Let's hear it. What's in it for the black people? Don't fear it. For the black people, 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 for the black people. What's in it for the black people? You know it. What's in it for the black people? Let's show it. What's in it for the black people? You know it. What's in it for the black people? Let's show it.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, Miss Ruthie Moore, Sonia Escobar. Hey, y'all. Talk to me about the re-lockdown of Chicago. Where you at on it? Todd?
Man, I've been locked down since what
time
April?
is since April
or something like that.
Okay.
I mean the only places I've ever been are like golf courses and to the grocery store.
And here.
Mm-hmm.
I spend more time with y'all than I do my family.
Oh, Ruthie.
Ruthie locked the common door to her sister. Click.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna tell you. I think
we gotta have it. We have to
Ruthie,
impose the restrictions because we can't even get people to wear masks. So it's hard to tell people to do something and them not do it. So what is the enforcement aspect of it? And it's tough because it's like a balancing act between keeping the economy going and keeping people safe. But these hospitalizations are going up, and this winter is coming. So I don't know if their predictions of doomsday are because the Democrats want us to vote Democrat, or is it because really it's about to be a cold winter?
Well, the positivity rate is going up.
I thought the cold freezes the disease.
The heat was supposed to kill it too, but so we don't know.
Right. So was
kind of science.
We got remdesivir now though.
But just think about this though. Think about the optics of the city or the state not imposing restrictions, and then the spike happens. Then people gonna be like, well, the government, the state, and the city should have stepped in. So they really can't win either way.
Mm. Well, I'm gonna just tell you this: don't nobody get to tell me who come in my house. Well, let me back up. Carrie does, and Carrie does, and Carrie don't let nobody come over, right? Like I'm not really tripping on that. But what I am gonna tell you is, you can't tell me what time somebody gotta leave my house. If they in the house, they in the house. If they are, that's crazy.
Maze, if I find some people in your house, we come
First
in
of all, how you
with
gonna
the
find
brown
somebody in my
shirts. We're coming in with the brown shirts and the Ram.
Mm-hmm. Telling me who could come in my house till 10 o'clock.
You know, most of the things that the mayor's office says are just really suggestions, trying to get you to do what they want.
No, she just want to give me content.
But it's a veiled threat.
No, I'm telling y'all, it is because when them rowdy Thanksgiving parties and these football parties and all that stuff start happening, they gonna break it up. So if you're gonna have people in your house, just be quiet. Don't be loud.
Yeah, I don't think she's really talking about you having 8 people and your friend.
She's
really talking about the big things.
It's for the parties.
Yeah, I know it's 6, but
so I'm just
I agree with Ruthie is what I'm saying.
All I'm saying is, so does this mean that Super Halloween is that? So does that mean Halloween? What does that mean, Ruthie?
Halloween was already made with the pandemic in mind. Remember, it was social distance ideas.
Mm-hmm. What happened when it's a log jam? Because I wanted to pick my candy.
Oh, so you touching all of it?
I'm all in the band. I'm like, I don't want those. Right?
That's a good one.
Maze eats the apples. He crazy.
Remember when they used to always be like, don't eat the apples. They
got razor blades in them.
Yeah.
That was from that show, The Awakenings. Scared me to death.
From what?
Remember that show, The Awakenings?
What you know about The Awakenings? They made it all the way down to Kankakee.
See, here you go.
No, we used to watch Awakenings. Check this out.
Awakenings.
We used to watch Awakenings on Saturday nights before we went to the party.
Is it a religious show?
It was for it to be a religious show. It was a lot of sinning in it. It was a Christian soap opera, teen soap opera.
Oh
man, that bad.
It had some really good lessons, I think.
Man,
but the razor blade in the I think it was the apples or the candy or something. That one got me.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
I didn't see that one. They said they was gonna release that on a box set.
I would probably buy it.
I would buy it too. I'm really trying to get that. I think somebody had them on one of the shows before, the people from The Awakenings, or somebody was like, I was on The Awakenings. All right, Lala, let's move on. What does Chicago, let me back up. Have y'all seen the list of what they spent the COVID money on?
Hopefully it was PPE.
That's what I would think.
Yeah, Lord. Let's see. They bought, what would you do if I told you that they used the COVID money to buy tear gas grenades, iPads, firearm simulators? What if I told you
firearm simulators?
Pardon?
The tear gas I could see actually, but the firearm simulator.
What is that? A firearm simulator? So you can
when they practice killing black people. Also, did you know that during the pandemic we paid up to $10 per mask?
Oh, I know there's been mask gouging for sure.
We paid $1.8 million on private jet flights.
Man, where'd they go? Oh,
China.
Yeah, they went to China to give the check.
You know they couldn't ride on a commercial flight.
No.
Do you know we spent $107 million on empty hospitals? I mean, empty hotels.
That was a just-in-case measure.
Yeah. So here's the thing, though. Remember when I told you that during every crisis somebody gets rich?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Who was the lobbyists that negotiated the deal? Do you know they rented out the Crown Plaza in Springfield and nobody stayed there?
Low key, that was also their way of propping up the hospitality industry.
Yeah, I can believe that too.
But they couldn't say you couldn't really paint it as like a bailout. But that's really what it was. It was a precautionary measure. I shouldn't say this, but I think it was a precautionary measure masked, really, because I think it was really just a little stimulus for the hospitality
So
industry.
Who won black?
Why not just pay them?
How about this though? So here's the challenge though. Do you know they spent $107 million on empty hospital? Well, can you find my boy? Can you find the white shadow, please? $107 million. You know what I always try to tell black people? Y'all don't want to hear me, right? When I tell you that when these crises are in place,
mm-hmm.
or when these cash floods come, we should build infrastructure. So imagine if they took $107 million on empty hospitals. They could have built a whole new wing and funded it at Roseland.
You ain't kidding, man.
So they could have split that up. $25 million. They could have built 4 extensions and extended the coverage. Yet and still, have we heard since the white shadow? When we see all of this money, I want to remind y'all, all the black people that congratulated the governor. Do you think about they took a private flight? Just think about this: $2 million on a private jet flight to deliver the check to pick up PPE that Willie Wilson had here. And when we talk about $107 million spent on empty hospitals, there are rich white construction companies that are suing to prevent black people from being a part of other deals. Did we ever get a response to this?
The state got a distribution of the drug remdesivir, about 140 cases of it. It could be a lifesaver for a lot of folks. Roseland didn't get any. How come?
Remdesivir is here in Illinois, but is nowhere near the new Roseland Community Hospital. I guess we didn't qualify. And I just I can't understand why that is. We have the sickest of the sick, and we have people dying. We have a 37% morbidity rate for those inpatients who are admitted for COVID-19. The disparity here is unquestionable. African Americans are dying at an alarming rate. We're 7% of the population and 16% of the deaths here in Chicago. Remdesivir should be here at Roseland Community Hospital. As of even this morning, I've sent an email to Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton asking, how do we get in line for this remdesivir? Please talk to us. We've submitted applications to IDPH. We're in constant contact and asking for this drug. People are dying at an alarming rate, but there are miracles that are happening every day within the walls at the new Roseland Hospital. We are saving lives. With remdesivir, we can save more lives. So there is a Medicaid amount of money that came in the hundreds of millions of dollars that went to hospitals that had up to 100 inpatient for COVID by April 10th. We didn't qualify for that. So these formulas that the government is coming up may not be racist in the beginning, but they sure are having racist effects and affecting these communities like the new Roseland Community Hospital. But we've got gurneys up against desks. We've got people that are overwhelming our emergency department. We're doing the best we can, falling deeper in debt. And the sadness here is that I'm not asking for a casino to be built to give me revenue. I'm not asking for more medical marijuana to be sold to give me revenue. That Medicaid money is in this state right now, but it's been redirected to higher Medicaid hospitals. And I'm sorry for skipping here, but it just incenses me to the point where these billion-dollar corporations are getting more Medicaid money. And we're losing Medicaid money here at Roseland, and that's driving us deeper in debt.
What is your way out of that?
What is our way out? The redistribution of that Medicaid money. You know, we survived by this hospital tax assessment that had been traditionally a Robin Hood tax. And in 2018, it got redirected into the Sheriff of Nottingham tax. Roseland Community Hospital lost $7 million in 2018, while big billion-dollar corporations got $24 million. $34 million. And that's right now, you're seeing this COVID CARES Act money come into Illinois. It's going right back to those same institutions.
100. What if I told you after listening to that, 107 million of that went to empty hospitals, to build empty hospitals, to reopen empty hospitals? You talk about propping up the hospitality industry. Who propped up the black health industry? Right? So you think that $107 million on an empty hospital when we have hospitals that are bleeding money with gurneys up against the wall?
But you know what, though, Maze? In
what,
thinking, because I just want to be,
fair.
Bring a different perspective. I don't want to say fair. I want to bring a different perspective.
We always got to be fair.
So the current way hospital infrastructures, the way that they were currently really set up, were not really made for corona. For real. Like, yes, you have like infectious diseases parts like in hospitals, but part of the reason why they did build that new hospital was because they could build it with the proper quote unquote infrastructure for what's needed for the Rona.
I just wanted to say that really what they did was reopen 2 closed hospitals. I got you on the new one that they did, the temporary one, but they opened 2 hospitals that they retrofitted. They went in and they retrofitted them and brought them up to speed to be able to do what they need. Now, I'm just suggesting that when you know that money went to paying for open hospitals, for empty hotels, and you're talking about propping up industries, which, again, we see it as innocuous. We see it as innocuous, except for the fact that we know that while somebody is saying you got Sam Toya, you got not the hospital association, you got all of these great lobbyists and these large organizations that are lobbying to get this money to save their industries. We're dying on gurneys in hospitals in our neighborhood. Who's speaking on it? When I read a list and they tell me that, again, we got Susanna talking about she done flew up and down the expressway doing shady drug deals. When I see that they're spending $10 a mask and Dr. Willie Wilson gave away $25 million and never sold one. When I see that and then I hear about black people dying, when I hear about, what are we talking about here? Honestly. And when I find out that before they took care of those lives and those people that were dying, they bought iPads, grenades.
Read
the list.
I wonder what you do with a grenade.
Kill Negroes. Firearm simulators. Tear gas. Leased and booked up empty hotel. Did the Roberts get a deal? Did any of the hotels on Stony get a deal? Y'all laughing.
Those hotels are for other things. Or so they told me.
And then you find out that the municipalities, the Illinois Municipal League, is arguing with the state right now because the state hasn't given them their money. Because the state is... See, this is where lobbyists come in. Mm-hmm. Can I tell you how this worked? So as the CARES Act money was coming in, they realized that there were opportunities to spend these hundreds of millions of dollars. And so everyone who has an industry in the marketplace then descends upon Springfield or upon the governor's office lobbying to create paths. So just like you said, this was a way to prop up the hotels. Mm-hmm. That's because the Illinois Hotel and Lodging Association probably went into the governor's office and said, if you put this as CARES Act money, we can get $100 million for our hotels that we can redistribute to prop up. I'm okay with that. Who was propping us up? Mm-hmm. Who was saying, okay, if we know that $300 million in CARES Act money is coming, how many of these people were black vendors? Right? Like even how many black hotels, how many black any of this, how much of this CARES Act money went to, besides the marketing or retelling us about how we died, how much of it went actually to us even participating in the economic largesse? Black death is a commodity. So I can use the fact that black people are dying to go spend $10 a mask from Dick Durbin's no bid contract for his campaign manager, and then come walk in our neighborhood. Do y'all understand why sometimes this stuff makes me lose my mind? Because it's like I'm reading the paper and all of this seems like, again, you got to put in perspective that black people are dying at a double everybody else clip. When the money is coming in, nobody is saying, what can we do to save lives? This ain't MASH. This ain't emergency. Ain't nobody saying, whoo, everybody's figuring out how can we take this money and make sure that we straight. And in that process, I'm not mad at anybody. But I got to ask my question, and if we look at how even the ComEd deal went, what do I tell you we don't see in anything when it comes to money? Black people. So when you say, like, can we, so when you talk about a governor that's going to come up and tell you about their root is based in equity, I got to ask myself, because I'm going to tell you, I literally, at the middle, the governor's office has played me shady forever. Ever. Lied straight to my face. I don't even. But at the peak of the pandemic, literally put the governor's office on the phone with Dr. Willie Wilson. They couldn't work nothing out, but they could spend $2 million on a private jet flight, and the man already got the relationship with China. While they get on TV and market to us that, why aren't we building in the United States? The pandemic only demonstrated what we didn't have in our house. So now, when you find out that somebody got paid $10 a mask for a mask that cost $1 that Dr. Wilson... So think about this. At $10 a mask, and Dr. Wilson would have given away $240 million worth of value. That's $250 million. Do you hear that? Do y'all see how that extrapolates out? The state spent $10 a mask. Dr. Wilson gave away $24 million. Documented. We seen it. Multiply that times 10. That's $250 million made by somebody. But let's take it down. Let's cut it in half. Let's say then somebody renegotiates. Let's renegotiate. So I'll take half a $250 million. I'll take $125 million for 10 months worth of work.
Maze, you're not crazy.
I am.
You're awake.
Uh-oh.
Just don't cut it as woke.
I said awake.
Okay. I hate talking to these people because I feel like I'm looking at them. It's like they be looking. Your mom ever say, "Do I look like a fool?"
They say, "Don't pee on me and tell me it's raining."
Oh no, they ain't never say that.
Well, not my mama, no.
Right, no. But I remember Ruthie from the country. I mean, just think about the transfer of $240 million. Now, they're going to tell me that wasn't what it was, and I'm going to say, let's just say that it was 10.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say it was 10.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody black in that 10?
Well, it was obvious they didn't want Dr. Wilson involved at all.
Okay, so somebody else. Who?
I don't know if there is anybody else, is there?
Sole source. But if it was a white boy, we'd have a sole source contract.
That's what I was
Which
thinking.
is what Dick Durbin's boy got. But yeah, I know. Hand grenades, yo. Tear gas. Flight. Gun simulator. Think about as we talk about, as JB Pritzker is in your face telling you about defund the police, they buying what gun simulators with CARES Act money. Defund the police while they buying tear gas to come drop on your.
They're like, let us buy some more military gear before they defund us for real.
Right. Because these Negroes getting out of pocket. Because all this is happening during the George Floyd. I know.
America, the seams of the fabric of America are coming apart.
No. Well, in the meantime, the white folks are sewing their money up. They sewing. Never let a good crisis go to waste. And I fundamentally think, I want you to think about every black person that they marched up. That if you're looking for this story, it's in the Chicago Tribune today. Shout out to Chicago Tribune and ProPublica. I'm reporting this story from a story I read from them, right? But as I read it, I thought about every day that we were on air as this thing was happening and all of the things that were playing out. Now, I want to be clear that even with the masks, the business of the mask is not manufacturing. The business of the mask is procuring, shipping, and then distribution. So anybody could have got the mask contract. Anybody could have got that. All you got to do is get a plug in China. Or a plug from a broker here in Chicago. Now, I want you to come match that. I want you to do an overlay. This is what I want you to put in your mind. As JB was raising his fist to George Floyd as he was coming through our neighborhoods. Remember? He was cutting us out economically. At the same time, tooling up. He at your crib while he's telling his boys, load up, fellas. Get your gun simulators. You need some more tear gas. Man, these Negroes out of pocket. Get some tear gas while you at it.
Everybody prepping.
Not us.
Everybody prepping.
Well, the government's different than us.
I should say
they prepping.
People
for
are
us.
prepping. People are prepping. So if you ain't been prepping, you better start prepping. Whatever that means to you. Because if you think everybody is prepping
for something.
For something. Some things they can't tell you that they prepping for. Some stuff you can kind of ascertain that they prepping for. And so I think the best thing we can do is to try to use our discernment to figure out what is going to be best for you and your family.
See, but then that's where we get to that individualism again.
But you have to in the absence of a cohesive message.
Oh, you think you something.
But just think, you hear so many different things. Like, am I a business owner? Am I going to get my wood to keep it in the back?
You think you are something. You think you smart, don't you?
Listen, y'all better start prepping.
You
Go get your tissue.
Smart. You think you smart, Ruthie Mo? You think you are smart?
Let me tell you something I've noticed in trying to go to some of the stores that have the bulk items is a lack of tissue. And you know the tissue is a key economic indicator for us right now. Tissue. That shows you what people's mindset is. And so people are prepping in their own ways because it's something brewing, but nobody knows what it really is.
I'm gonna tell you, the meat section been a little light lately.
So
too.
just pay attention.
The meat section been a little light too. I am paying attention. Look, y'all, when we come back, we are gonna talk to. I know y'all know I made my international television world debut, but it's really on Sunday when it's really for the whole world to see. City So Real. We talked about it. We went to Sundance this year. When we come back, we are going to be talking to Zach Piper and Steve James, the creators. Y'all, it's on and popping. Documenting the mayor's race. I'm famous. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break. AM 1570, WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I'm running for U.S. Senate for the state of Illinois. I will never give up on inclusion and equality, prison reform, reduced property taxes, and economic opportunity for all. I want to get to know your neighborhood
accept
and the problem that you face every day.
This program
and I want to serve every man, woman, and child in the state of Illinois. A vote for me is a vote for you.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
WIFTV PM.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
What's in it for the black people? Cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to lies, can't doze no more. I told y'all this, that dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies of the politicians. We need money, no symbolism. It's Maze and Sonia and Ruthie and Todd explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds.
I don't know. I'm
united. Our movement gon' start. They ain't trying to help us. They ain't trying to do nothing.
Hey,
we gotta do something.
Can they hear us?
We gotta stop running.
I'm not sure if they can hear us. Can you all hear us? I don't think so.
I'll just text them and say I can't seem to get the camera to work. I don't know why it's not working. Yeah. I clicked allow.
Whenever you talk, I'll just move my mouth like it's you talking.
Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, Miss Ruthie Moore, as well as Sonia Escobar. Hey, y'all, it is the big It is the big world premiere. It is the big world premiere coming up this Sunday night. Y'all got to check us up on Nat Geo. Now, I'm trying to get my man Steve James in. I see we got... Steve, we can hear you, but I don't know if I can see you. I'm going to bring you in anyway, and you keep talking. But we can definitely hear you. I don't know if you can turn your camera around, or is that maybe it?
For some reason, I've checked in 3 times now. It's not letting my camera turn on, even though I've clicked allow. So
you know what? I'm going to try and send you. I'm going to try and resend you another link. But in the meantime, let's say what's up to Zach Piper, as well as Steve James. They are the creators of City So Real. Y'all, let me tell y'all what. It is my world film debut of the docuseries that documents the mayoral election. You know what? Let me stop talking and let you guys talk. First of all, let me introduce Steve James and Zach Piper. Steve James, you may know Steve from creating Hoop Dreams, as well as the Allen Iverson documentary as well. What's up? What's going on, Steve? And Zach Piper, who also worked with him to create City So Real. Talk to us about this docu-series and how it came about.
Well, Mays says the whole series is about himself.
No, it's not. I was like, that's all I got. No, I'm just joking. You know I'm a media whore, but that's a whole nother thing.
He's not totally wrong. Yeah.
Well, it's the best parts are about Mays. Let's just say that.
Okay. There you go.
I'll tell my mom that.
Yeah, but it's started to be just a regular film, but because so much was happening, we turned it into a docuseries. And the idea was to do a kind of mosaic portrait, if you will, of Chicago at a crossroads. And when the last mayoral election rolled around, coupled with the Laquan McDonald trial, we just thought, well, this is the perfect time to do this story. And so we set out and shot way too much. And made a docuseries out of it.
Now, talk to me about what this docuseries actually covers, and what was your goal in really covering? What was your motivation and your inspiration?
Well, my initial motivation was I had actually seen a film back in grad school made by this great French filmmaker, Chris Marker, which was a portrait of Paris. And but after I'd been in Chicago for a number of years, I thought it would be great to try and do something like what he did with Paris. But again, it was kind of like trying to figure out what the time to do it was. But I think part of it is that Chicago is, it is the kind of quintessential American city. I think what goes on here goes on everywhere. Sometimes we might be a little ahead of the curve than other cities with regards to the issues of the day. But we thought that by doing this series, we could really give you a portrait of everyday Chicagoans, of the issues and what drives this city, what bedevils this city, and what drives and bedevils America at the same time.
One of the things that I thought was so awesome about the series, it is, and just so you all know, it was initially 4 episodes and it is now 5 episodes. Was it captured the many different pieces of Chicago. I talk about a tale of 2 cities often, but in this case, it tells the story of a tale of about 20 cities. Zach, talk to me about your experience when you were out filming, and what did it show you about the diversity of Chicago?
I think one of the great opportunities this making this film offered was just to break out of our own bubbles and to travel around the city with intention to talk to folks. And I think that one example is the Laquan McDonald murder trial, and in our experience of going out and polling, sort of talking to folks and seeing where people were at with that. And just seeing this huge divide in people's engagement with the trial. When we filmed at a salon down in Beverly, and
Desi's, by the way,
incredible amount of thoughtfulness. That's Desi's, right? Incredible amount of thoughtfulness and engagement. And when we went up to other parts of the city, I'm thinking now of Oz Park and Lincoln Park on the north side, and there were some people who knew what was going on, but there were also as many or more people who really weren't paying attention. And I think that was an important element to add to the series, to sort of show, like, as you were saying, the tale of two cities. People are in their bubbles. People are in their own world. In particular, in this case, white folks who, didn't feel the need to have to pay attention because it wasn't as critical.
One of my favorite parts of the movie is actually the white dog walker, the guy who walks the dogs, and he makes a living. And it really just demonstrates. Talk to me about the white dog walker and just explain that, because I really do feel like it really encapsulated just how much our worlds are different.
Yeah, credit to Shoot the Dog Walker goes to my son Jackson, who was also a primary cinematographer on the series. Because if you don't hire your own Maze, who are you going to hire? Wasn't it Daly that said something like that?
Look at you! You trying to be an official Chicagoan?
Yeah, if I could help my own son, right?
But Jackson's roommate was this guy, Mike Miller, who was a dog walker on the Gold Coast. And Jackson said, he's got a wild job. He rides his bike into the Gold Coast each day, and he walks dogs for wealthy people. And it's just kind of a wild job. And we just thought, wow, that's a great idea for one of the scenes in the series. And so Jackson shot that series, and we went and followed him around for a day. And yeah, I mean, I love that scene too, because it gets at what else we were up to besides following political campaigns and issues of the day. It gets at that other part of what this series is about, which is to meet everyday Chicagoans and hear from them and get a sense of their lives, get a sense of what's possible in their lives and what's not possible. And yeah.
Speaking of politics, we get an opportunity to see the mayor before and after. Talk to me about the before and the after, and talk to me about what people can see in the series as it relates to the mayor as she campaigned, and then a year later after she has been in governance. Because one of the other parts that was really poignant was her view of what had happened in Chicago after being elected. But talk to me about, because one of the things that jumped out to me, and I'm gonna point this out, is that during the first 4 series, and I think it was episode 3, where she identifies herself as the first openly gay out candidate, and she does not talk about blackness in my estimation at all. And then looking at what happened on the South and West Side, I felt like that was a precursor as to what we saw, and then her interpretation of it. Talk to me about what you got out of that.
Go ahead, Zach.
Well, I was going to say that, I mean, we track Lori when she's, sort of an outlier in the campaign. I mean, at a certain point, even a month out, she was 2.6 in the polls, I think. And we sort of followed her petition challenge process from Tony Prenkwinkle, which she overcame. And I feel like we were able to capture her kind of getting her feet on the ground as a candidate, and, showing us that fighter that, and that toughness that we see, as a mayor. And then the series, as you mentioned, that aired at Sundance, we'd stopped filming. But when we came back for episode 5, we had this opportunity to kind of show the mayor a year into the tenure and how she's handling the pandemic, and then later how she's handling all the upheaval in the wake of George Floyd's murder, and an opportunity just to show her as a more complicated figure, which I think is,
I think, just to add to that, I think the tricky part for us in doing episode 5 was we did not want to turn the whole episode into a referendum on the mayor and her tenure thus far, because that would not be in keeping with what the whole series is about. At the same time, she's a big part of what's going on in the city, and so we had to we had to include her in a substantial way. So we really tried to give her opportunity to speak for herself and express her views on certain issues and on being mayor, while at the same time hearing from some of her critics, like Mace Jackson, for example.
Critic? What are you talking about? I love the mayor.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of critic, though, you all also covered Madam President Toni Preckwinkle. That was pretty interesting. I'd like you to give me your interpretation of what people will learn, because I one of the things that I think that the series does is provide human perspective. I don't know if we got any more human out of Madam President Toni Preckwinkle. Talk to me about what you got out of that part of it, or what people can expect to see from there.
Well, we attempted to embed ourselves to some degree with her campaign, like a number of the so-called front runners. But of course, this won't surprise you, Maze. The front runners weren't that interested in having us around. Because they worried that if they became mayor and we got something embarrassing, that it would be a problem. So Toni was definitely a candidate that we didn't have any luck with getting any kind of intimate access to, but didn't matter. In the way we look at it, we showed up at her events, we showed up at her campaigning, we showed up at debates, and I think one of the things that comes through in that is a couple things. One is that, the everyday press, and we feel for the everyday press folks because we got to know them intimately out there on the hustings. They have a job to do every day, and they have a very specific and narrow job to do. We didn't have that. So when we'd go to a press conference or an event where she's getting an endorsement, up in Logan Square, for example, we were there to capture it as a scene, not as to get sound bites for a news story. And so we show things that you just don't see on the news because we've turned it into an actual, we show what you would actually experience if you were there versus being a news organization collecting sound bites for a news story. And so you see some very revealing moments, I think, with Toni. And I think one of the things I took away is that she's not a great campaigner. She likes to brag that she ran 3 times for city council before she won. And after you see this film, you maybe understand why.
Oh, I am going to tell you, City So Real is literally that. It is a real life look and take at what happened. I must send a big shout out to Amara Inya, who is a huge part of the documentary and actually introduced us all. And really built this relationship. Before we go, because I know you guys got a hard stop, you're on a 8:17. So with the last 30 seconds, tell me what give me your best summation and what you want people to know about City So Real and why should they be tuning in on Sunday night.
Go ahead, Zach.
Well, it's yes, Sunday night, right? That's the National Geographic kickoff party, but it's going to actually broadcast on the 29th of October, which is next Thursday, 6 p.m. without commercials, all 5 episodes. Next day, it'll be on Hulu, and uncensored. On Hulu,
and
which is nice.
I think we want people to take away a lot of things because it's a long docuseries, but it plays very short, as Mace will tell you. I think we want people to sort of get what makes this city special. What makes this city so passionate, what makes this city so inspiring and at times infuriating. We want to get it all. We want to get our arms around it all. But I think we ultimately want you to come away feeling like there is hope for America and for Chicago, because there are so many amazing people here who care deeply about this city.
Hey, Steve. Sunny Hostin, this week when we were on this week talking to her about the series, I believe she said she referred to it as a love letter to Chicago. And as a non-Chicagoan that you are, that has been here for 30 years, I must say that it is a beautiful letter that talks to the real Chicago. I hope everyone will tune in and check us out this weekend. Check us out Sunday night for the debut. And then, you guys, I'm so confused. I must tell you, I'm so confused. I got so many emails telling me what to go where. Yeah. So we know Sunday night at 5 p.m. we want to make sure. And then on the 29th, you make sure you tune back in. I'll have it all together. But that is Steve James, Zach Piper. They are the creators, the cinematographers. They are the people that made your man nationwide. Hey, tune in to City So Real. We appreciate y'all so much, and we look forward to having you guys back. And wait till y'all see, you know what the best part? Wait till y'all see where they actually document the launch of What's in It for the Black People Media. And when you see how far we've come from where we started to where we come, y'all, it's just going to be historical. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. And thanks for everything that you've done.
Thank you, Maze, for having us and for being a part of the series.
All right, my man. Appreciate you. Thanks, guys. All right, y'all. This is the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out chicagolegalnetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show.
What's in it for the black people? What's in it? What's in it for the black people? I'm in it. What's in it for the black people? What's in it? What's in it for the black people? I'm in it. For the black people. For the black people. For the black people. For the black people. For the black people, for the black people, for the black people, for the black people. What's in it for the black people? Let's hear it. What's in it for the black people? Don't fear it. What's in it for the black people? Let's hear it. What's in it for the black people? Don't fear it. For the black people, 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 for the black people. What's in it for the black people? You know it.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Hey, Todd.
Yes, sir.
I think I'm gonna have to stop by Kim Bart Beverage Shop, pick up some drinks, and have my own premiere Sunday night. I might have to celebrate myself.
You can't have that many people at your house, though.
I know. It's just me and Carrie. Right? 6. We gonna have.
Got a bottle of Boone's Farm.
Nah, Boone's Farm. Nah, man. I'm buying the red, black, and green liquor. Tequila. What's the tequila? What's his name again? I got to meet him, but every time I go into Kim Burke and pick up the red, black, and green flag, I be like, yo, that's the tequila right there. And it's the brothers from DePaul. Right? You went to DePaul. You went to class with him. Weren't you in his class?
You know it.
What's
Go
the name?
Blue
You don't know?
Demons.
You don't know?
They were drinking in class.
What is the name of that?
That's like-
John, and it like John Basile tequila.
John Basile. Not Basquiat. Basquiat.
I was about to say, where's he from, Haiti?
Speaking of Haiti, hey, man, check out tomorrow. We got, okay, we're going to do this again.
What we doing?
Hey Ladies is coming back. So tomorrow we got 3 shows tomorrow.
Hey Ladies, coming back with the same ladies?
I think Joel, Craig fired one of them or something. I don't know. But I think he fired the nice one too. Like that wasn't. Well, anyway, check this out. We got 3 shows tomorrow. We got Minding Our Own Black Business with Tennille Jackson. I think she's got Chef Cliff Rome coming in. Then we've got Hey, Go Ladies with Crave and his ladies. Actually, I'm gonna tell you, they had good. I kind of liked the show a little bit, but they just, they was messing with my time and my energy. You don't be trying to interrupt our show. Get out. We straight. I don't need them now. This is a class. Don't nobody need no damn screen wipes. You do. No, I don't.
You need real screen wipes.
But get out of my show. Get out. Get out. Did you see this? This
Go home, Roger.
She trying to bogart into our show because she want to be on something for Spirit Week and they gonna lose, and so they trying to get where the real votes gonna come from. Bye, Dawn. Book a Dawn. They coming on later. Thank you. All right, now moving right along. Did you see Book of Dawn trying to interrupt our stuff? Don't nobody need no damn screen wipes.
I thought something was wrong.
I was like. Look, let me tell you what that was. That's like Herb and them. They ain't never seen no numbers like this, so they want to come in and be like, "What does it feel like to be a star?" See, I'm telling you, it cut to the bone. Now y'all made me forget what I was talking about.
Oh, you was talking about the lineup. Minding our black-owned business.
Oh, minding our black-owned business tomorrow. That's at 10 o'clock. 11 o'clock, we got Go Ladies, and then 12 o'clock, Tamiko Holt with If We're Gonna Talk About It, Let's Talk About It All.
Tamiko!
If we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it all. Okomak Construction built the wall. She said she got mad that I said she built the walls.
I thought Mexico wasn't paying for that.
No. So if you know Tamiko, then you know she is definitely not Mexico, right?
Shout out to take that contract.
Shout out, right? Shoot, I know Latinos how to take that contract. Shout out, look at Sonia, like I'm out. Shout out to Okomak Construction. Hey, can I send a big shout out to my So I got two. Y'all gonna be voting this weekend. Can y'all do me a favor? So I don't do the Black and Brown Coalition, but there is a Black and Brown Coalition that I'm supporting at the Water Reclamation District.
Right.
The Black and Brown Coalition of Kimberly Neely Dubuclay and Era Sepulveda.
Everybody else is on their own.
Everybody else is on their own. Well, some of the people, the other person that's on there, if Carrie was Kamala, then she would have to say I'm speaking regularly. Because he feels it's his white male privilege that allows him to cut off. One day I'm going to tell y'all. One day we going to have us a straight up conversation because y'all need to be. Some days I feel like my baby got to hold it all in and she got to do the whole Michelle Obama, take the high road while they keep doing the low road. That really frustrates me. And I know she can handle herself, but I do feel like these people be coming into our neighborhood smiling at y'all and y'all. What I hate when you don't like somebody and your friend don't know you don't like them? Let me not say that because, Carrie loves everybody. It's me. No, it is me. It's like when I see stuff happen and I be like, now she be like, it's okay. I be like, it's not okay. It's not. And I get upset. I really do. Let's go to the live line. Brother Ball, help your brother out, man. What's going on, Brother Ball?
Yeah, what's going on, my brothers and sisters?
Brother Ball!
Call and check in on a rainy Friday. Listen, I got a question for Todd. I got to turn my wipers off so I can make sure you hear me clear. Todd, what have they converted the old South Shore High School into? I've been seeing a lot of police and mongrels walking around there really brash and, acting like they holding it down. What is this? Is this a tactical facility that they done put up here for the police or what?
I forgot exactly what it is, but it is a police facility. It's some kind of
police training facility.
Training facility, yeah.
Hey, Todd, they over there littering, man. They get out their car, they littering, they dropping trash and stuff everywhere. Man, we're going to have to jump on top of that, bro. They can't come in the hood. We just got the new field. I dropped the kids off across the street at the field. They getting out their trucks, eye rolling at me. I'm like, hold on, pal. I'm a citizen. You better know where you at.
Right.
Hey, man.
You better know where you at.
Y'all need to have they haven't taken their neighborhood tours yet. The mayor got people.
Man, we
got people hired to take neighborhood tours by the local kids are now being paid to give tours to the police officers so that they won't look at you cross-eyed, bruh ball. But real quick though, dog, you got to check out my world international debut on TV. on Sunday night on Nat Geo, yo. I'm gonna be on with Sonny Hostin, and then they gonna talk about the Chicago mayor's race. And I'm gonna let you. I talked to our girl, Lil Lord, but Ruthie
I give y'all a shout out.
Ruthie Tennille
I'm
and
giving y'all a
Sonia
shout out too. I'm gonna give y'all a shout out on my podcast too. Make sure I plug that movie. Make sure you put it up on Facebook so I can get the time and let everybody know what station.
Hold on. Did you say you got a podcast, Bubba? I don't try to hang up now. He caught himself.
One of the kids had to do something.
He caught himself because he said, "I got to do on your podcast, bro. Boy, how you got a podcast and you ain't holler at the what's in for the black people, bro? Ball, did I hear you correctly, brother? Ball, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Did I correctly hear you say that you had a podcast?
Yeah, me and my buddy, we got a podcast.
Bro, Ball, how come we ain't heard about the podcast, my brother? I think I might be.
We got hold on,
bro, I might be offended. I could potentially be offended here that we done built what's in it for the black people media. You call up here, I'll be like, bro, gotta show you all the love.
Yerp.
And you go out and you go start a podcast, and you don't even call us up and say, yo, I got a podcast. Let me check out. I might want to be part of the family. You know what, bro, Ball? I'm gonna have to change.
Man, I plug y'all every week.
Now we want to hear.
So look, the podcast. This is the podcast. The podcast is called The Shit. Some hip.
Bro, Ball.
Being speaking.
Now you know we on church TV.
Church radio, right?
Church radio.
No, it's not a curse word. It's not a curse word. Some hip individuals thinking, then speaking.
Oh, okay. I like that. See, dog. See, that sound like something.
Yeah, so we had to throw, like kind of like that little sitcom they got, Shikes Creek or whatever they've been winning all the Emmys.
Got it. You got to send me the link. Why don't you inbox me the link so I can check it out? And then we got to get it to Herb and Sonia. Because Herb and Sonia we looking for talent, right? We looking for talent.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. I got you. I'm going to send it over today.
Send it over today because we looking, we trying to open up the books after January. So if you said you got 7 episodes down?
Yes, sir.
Oh, we gonna have to check you out, bro, Ball. We might call you.
Hey, and guess what, man?
What?
Guess what my segment is? At the end, I got an overlay for the underplay segment where I break down issues that keep keeping us down, and we keep falling for it, not knowing that it's a setup.
See, bro, Ball, that's why we got to talk, man. You can't be having no pot. You can't be out here. It ain't nobody wins when the family feuds, brother. We trying to build something. Put a brick on, man. Put a brick on. We're gonna talk about that though. Look, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. When we come back, it's time for Tell Me Something Good. Wow.
WIFTBPM.
Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. People in Illinois have been crying out for justice, equality, and fairness from their government for years. And it keeps getting worse. Unfair taxes, laws that unjustly imprison nonviolent offenders. The rich get richer, and the everyday people suffer. It's time for a change, and with your help, I'm here to do it. I'm asking for your support as I run for U.S. Senator in 2020.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
Maze Jackson.
If you could make up a social media holiday, what would it be?
Randy said National Don't Let No One Put You Down Day.
No one. What you gonna do? So when they say something crazy, you slap them?
Be like Maze said. Remy said a Jukathon Day.
Man, we about 60 years old. I be done had a heart.
You gotta get your heart rate up.
Okay, not that far.
Yeah. All right, Mario said my favorite one. My friends and I do what we call National Call Off from Work Day.
As a business owner, I don't.
You don't like that, yeah?
I don't like that.
Because I'm the boss of this thing. We got Marcus Garvey Day from Remy too.
Oh, Marcus Garvey Day. All right, what will we do on Marcus Garvey Day?
Call off from work.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. That would be great. Okay?
Yeah, right. Every black holiday has something to do with calling off from work.
You're cool. I'm out.
About National Join a Positive Black Organization Day, because I don't want to be recruited. I don't want to be recruited and the brothers be like, thank you. Thank you. How about National Tell White People the Truth Day? Tell them how you really feel.
You can't handle the truth.
Why don't we call that National Black People Get Locked Up Day?
I'm going to tell them there's an African
African American man threatening my life.
Hello.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
Hey y'all, this is Salim Muwakil from Muwakil's World. In case you missed the last discussion, this is what you missed.
There was a time when there was a large-scale mythology that African people had no endurance. We were only good for sprinting.
Right.
And that was our forte. Other than that, we were useless in marathon races. Establishing your patrimony on the land. If you bury the dead, that means that this land is forever in your family.
Who are our ancestors, really? We are the living ancestors to a whole genealogical line going back hundreds of thousands, millions of years that we carry within us living today. Everyone who preceded us. Mm-hmm. However, that conception took place, whether it was violently, with rape, or whatever the case, but we are them living today.
That's why it's important to understand our capacity, man. Our capacity is unlimited. We have unlimited potential.
Absolutely.
So make sure you tune in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1 p.m. on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Ruth and Moore, Sonia Escobar. It is almost time to call it a week. I swear to God, these weeks fly by. Like Wednesday. So here's the deal. First, the weeks start to fly by. Then the last minutes of the show fly by. I'll be like, where did these 3 hours go?
Right.
I mean, because I remember when it seemed like the alarm clock woke up, I was... By the time I was here, it's like just like clockwork, about to be through with my coffee. And I'm like, where did the time go? It is 8:36 on a Friday. Which means that it's time to tell me something good. Now, boom, chicka, boom, boom. I'm going to do it. I did the bass line. Boom, chicka, boom, boom, chicka, boom, boom, chicka, boom, boom. Right? I didn't mean to do the porn bass line. Oh, that's bone, chicka, bone, chicka, bone. Hi, my car is stopped on the side of the road, and it's raining outside. Well, step on in. Do you need... Let me stop, okay? Tell me something good, Friday.
Maze is having a flashback to the 70s.
I'm having a flashback to my adolescence. Stop it. All right, so here we go. Did you gonna tell me good? All right, so let me tell you what. Young Jersey J, in case you did not see yesterday, my granddaughter turned 1 month this week.
Woohoo!
So I am super, super, super excited, and it's a good thing.
How does it feel holding her?
Like a football.
Like your baby.
Oh yeah, isn't that kind of clever how you can just kind of hold your whole baby
sit right
like
here, and I'd be like, look, ball control, ball. You know, I'll be thinking to myself, she can't go nowhere. She can't go nowhere, right? it smells so good to hold a baby. But I be, I'm working hard not to be all in the baby face and stuff.
Right.
Right? Because, it's like you want to be like, come here, get over here.
You want to snuggle them.
I want to, yep. I'm the king swaddler, too. Like, I'm the expert swaddler of the century. Like, I could, boy, I had that baby like a football baby, like, just like the womb. Woo! Feels good in here. So, shout out to Young Jersey J on her month. It's Spirit Week coming up, right? So, I got to place your orders for your shirts. Now, don't tell nobody. I'm going to hook our shirts up. Well, when we get our What's in it for the Black People shirts, ours are going to be fresh. They're going to have black and white. We're going to hook it up. All right? So, y'all give me outside. Oh, I got you outside. So, we're going to hook it up. Also, it's business class. So, we got to dress fresh to Todd, you got to figure out a suit that fit for Monday.
Wait, the Monday coming up?
This Monday
is Spirit Week. You ain't been paying attention? Dawn ain't been hitting by. So, we got to put. Okay, I'm going to send y'all an email because it's Spirit Week coming up.
No, we're supposed to dress up Monday? It's dress up Monday?
Huh?
It's
dress up Monday. We got business Monday. You gotta get your we got one day where we gotta wear like our favorite college sweatshirt.
Is it pajama Thursday?
Ooh, good one.
But we gotta think about our Halloween costume. Like I really want to win. Like I think we need to be like
we need to get it this weekend.
Like I think we should be like when we open up the show, it should be strobe. Like, can I just tell y'all? I want to. You know how I told you this competition is everything.
Mm-hmm.
I want to win.
I see.
So we're gonna win. Don't be surprised if you show up and you got outfits. Like you sit in your chair and I'd be like, you better put that on. And trust me, fellas, no dresses. No, we don't do that around here. All right, so that's my tell me something good.
You're gonna be Geraldine.
You got me confused, dog. You will not ever. And there are things that you will not ever.
You could be Geraldine, I'll be Killer.
No, you're clearly confused. I will never be caught in a dress. There we go. All right, let's move on. What do you have for Tell Me Something Good, Todrick?
Well, I will say that Vince Bass.
Oh, my nephew, stop. You can't tell that.
Oh, shoot.
That's my nephew.
Yeah, but you didn't
Shout out to Jamie Bass. Shout out to young James Bass. Jamie Bass, my nephew, who just made it. First of all, he was in the video, the school video. It's amazing to see these young people grow up. Young James Bass named to the National Honor Society.
All right.
Yeah. Y'all a part of NHS?
I've heard of it.
No.
I was a part of National Junior Honor Society. Remember I told you I wanted to be black? That included not being in any of the smart clubs.
Got it.
Right? Like,
got it.
So I was against that. But National Honor Society, that's a huge deal to me. I used to, because you get to wear the ribbon when you graduate too, right? Was you was in the National Honor Society?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
You went to Kankakee.
the bar was low. The bar was
You probably
low.
went to Aroma Park High School or something.
No.
That's good stuff. Okay, what else you got, Todd?
I think the family's gonna go early vote this weekend.
The family.
You know what? I gotta scoop my daughter up and put her in the car. So she can go vote with us. But I'm not voting until election day, yo.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait because we got a lot of runway left. You never know what could happen.
Man,
Joe Biden might look. I'm just saying.
I'm
just saying. They might pass immigration reform before you don't know. All right, what you got, Ruthie?
Tell me something good. Let me think really quick. Oh, you know what?
You're not gonna have to cut the grass because it's raining and the weather's changing.
Yeah, I was kind of looking.
Why do y'all act like
it's a chore for me? It's not therapeutic.
Really?
I take no pride in being like
Ricky. Ricky,
this
see,
lawn
this
looks
way,
good.
Ricky, this way you supposed to sing your boy, right? Can I tell y'all a story?
Of course.
When on grass, so when I decided that I wanted Carrie Steele, I went every day. First of all, every day she used to like the lemon raspberry or whatever slush from McDonald's. It was like her favorite thing. So I would, and she had gotten sick, and so she couldn't go get it. And I would every day have it, either I would bring it to her or I would have it dropped off. Well, one day I dropped it off and I saw her backyard was like all weeds and no grass or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I paid a landscaper to come and redo her whole backyard. And she looked out the back window and was like, did this man just re-side my whole thing? And then I think I got her attention. But like I wouldn't
nothing like some sod.
I re-sided the whole back. And matter
I
of
can
fact,
tell you, if you do that to my yard, you'll get my attention.
shout out to it was Brother Sadiq. Brother Sadiq and I had just launched what we thought was gonna be a landscaping company. Right. And so I was like, perfect time to practice. And so we practiced on Carrie's backyard. Mm-hmm. And then she grew a whole lush green yard and she got to drink her lemon tea thing, lemon frozy things. Mm-hmm. And then she finally went on the date with me.
Aww.
And then I think that was when I finally won. But that was pretty cool. Like grass. Like I went all the way. Like Joe, I sided the lawn.
Yeah,
like
that's good
lawn.
stuff.
That was like I'm getting you. I don't care what it takes. So Ruthie, let me tell Ricky Hendon. See, this where y'all got the See, this is one of them times, bro. Look, Ruthie like, nah, Ricky, stay over there. But here's one of the times, fellas. See, this like if you're a player, this when you got your lawnmower. You just like if you on the block, you supposed to ride by. You supposed to come home and somebody supposed to be. Right?
I would probably think that was the creepiest thing ever.
See how women
only if you like the
that
guy
would be creepy.
does it work.
So see how the women.
So.
That would be you. That would be that's a little creepy.
Okay,
I
on
had
the
a
radio.
guy clean snow off my.
But if
car
a guy
for a
knew,
week.
like if a guy liked you and he knew about it,
Okay,
then
that's different. Yeah.
He could like right now if he was a player, he'd be.
Well, you got to have an SUV to put the lawnmower in. Like it's a lot of missing pieces.
See, this is why I think y'all
You
look
need to
for
take care of that,
excuses.
though.
Y'all got it. No, when you want it, right? Like when you trust me, you can have the lawnmower delivered, or you just send. There's other people you could call and just be like, "Yeah, dog. Yeah, you live on the block."
I am a practical person. I love practical gifts. No, really. Like I don't need flowers are nice, chocolate that's cool, but you gonna cut my grass? You gonna pay my student loans?
That's where it went. See, that's where.
Listen,
that's where the women go down.
No, listen. Side is nice.
Student loans are better.
But student loans are better. You gonna pay my student loans?
So are you? So that almost feels like you're purchasable.
No, what's the difference between the side and the student loans? Both are very nice gestures.
I'm not gonna give you my social security number.
Wait. No.
Yes.
I don't require any. Oh, that's interesting. You think that's the same?
Both are very nice gestures.
You don't?
I don't think I feel a certain way about if somebody handed me a bill. Oh, I would feel a certain way.
Really? What if it was specifically for your student loans?
Wait a minute. Did Ruthie say she's gonna hand you the bill, or did she say you just paid the student loan?
Yeah.
It's all the same. How would I even know about your student loan?
Same way you found out about the yard.
The same way you knew that I like the slushies from McDonald's because
Right.
we talking. Listen, if we talking about finances. I don't see how you don't see those. Those are both very nice gestures.
I'm on your side, Ruthie.
No, like I just feel like. So I feel like there's a. That's that. Can you pay my bills? Can
No,
you pay my
it's
telephone
not.
bills?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
My bills. That like I feel. Let me just
Is
say
it
this.
because
If I pay
because it's a bill?
Now here's what I feel like. Okay, so this is just real talk. If it's the grass, right? You can't really control that, right? Like I just decided I was gonna do it. What you gonna say? Put the dirt back? Like I don't want grass. If you hand me a bill, I'm just gonna tell you. If you give me a bill, because the only way I'm gonna know your student loan bill is if you give it to me.
No, nope, that's not what I'm talking about. The same way you knew that particular slushie, like that, those are like, that's a pretty, like a kind of an intimate detail to kind of know about somebody.
No, a slush?
If you dropping it off every day, that's an intimate thing. That's intimate. That's relationship building.
That is definitely, if you're doing it every day.
So what's the difference between you knowing that I like that particular slushie versus you knowing that, man, I got this student loan debt?
With the student loan debt,
that can come up in conversation.
And the student loan debt, I'm just telling you, the moment that the check clears, I'm gonna be like, open up. I'm here now.
I think it's a gift is a gift. And
Right,
I
a
believe
gift
in
is a
practical gifts, and I believe that gifts are for the person that are receiving them. not necessarily the person that's giving them.
Even though I don't think everybody feels the same way you do, Ruthie. I think there could be trouble.
That to me, so
acts of service.
I look
work
at
with me.
I look at the grass as elevated flowers. That's my rationale. I'm not even
really.
Yeah, I look at it as elevated flowers. Right? It's like realistically, the side cost me. Right? The side cost me $150. Right? And I got a guy that put it down. Yeah. Now, I do believe that if I pay a bill, like if somewhere in this process, now if I say you on your way to a trip and here goes a couple $100 or whatever, that's something else. But if I pay a bill and you allow me to pay the bill, I am suggesting that there is.
I'm hearing love languages.
I'm hearing love languages.
I like
I'm
acts
hearing
of service.
I'm hearing
and I like gifts.
I'm hearing stuck languages.
What? A gift is a gift.
No.
A gesture is a gesture. You can't you can't like I feel like it's a gesture. A nice gesture. It's a very nice gesture.
Really, it's a really nice gesture.
Both are very nice gestures.
So, is that the same as a mortgage payment too? Would you take a mortgage payment?
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
That's a gift. That's a gesture.
Well, do you think it comes with anything? Attachment?
Did you expect anything when you put that side down?
Eventually.
Okay then.
However, okay. So
But I
took a shot. I said, like,
both,
here's the thing. The side is like almost like walk away, right? Like,
what you mean by walk away?
Like the side is, I mean, you put the side down, right? You put the side down. You taking a chance. You're not. I didn't ask you. For me to take that means you said, here is the amount. This is what you need.
No, you could give me something on it. You don't have to get the actual bill, but you can say, you know what? Something nice that I want to do for you is I'm gonna pay your student loans this month. That is a nice gesture.
That's married.
That is a very thoughtful gesture.
That's a marriage. That's a marriage. Look, student loan, like, okay, so that's either marriage.
This got the comments rocking.
Sugar, that's
y'all don't want to know my
daddy.
I didn't even know my wife had student loans until a couple of years down the line.
That's sugar daddy-ish.
No, like, what? No.
Oh my God.
So how is a slushie not sugar daddy-ish too then?
Yeah, I don't know. I really like me a slushie.
$1.59.
So it's based on the value, like it's the price of it. I think a gesture is a gesture. And
I don't. So, I think that there's a large gesture. There's a large gesture and there's a small gesture. Gotcha. A slushie is the little things. A mortgage payment, a car note, a whatever is the big things.
That's interesting.
Those to me, at those points when you do those, I feel like that comes with an attachment.
Wow.
But if you don't like the guy, it doesn't matter either.
Wow.
And if you don't like the guy, you don't take it.
Right.
If you don't like the guy, you cannot. Let me tell you what. If you okay,
no, I'm just don't like the guy. That's really trouble.
Let me just explain. Yeah. This is how Chris Rock got kicked off the Arsenio Hall show.
How?
What?
Right? Remember when Chris Rock got kicked off the Arsenio Hall show?
I didn't even know he was on the Arsenio Hall show.
Remember when Chris Rock did this skit? Ladies, please don't be offended. He did this skit, and the skit was. He said, date rape generally occurs after you've been out to dinner, you order everything on the one side of the menu, you are in the car with your panties down and then say, no, thank you. That to me is essentially, I think that sends a very bad signal and sign. If you don't like a person and you take their car note or that, you can't do that. You can't do it. You cannot, because the dude is gonna have an expectation. And I'm not gonna say rightfully so. But to me, accepting that is an implication that there is more to come. Now, $1.59 slushie, nah.
I agree with Maze about everything except that slushy part.
That's sugar daddy-ish to me.
Well, it's because of the difference in the actual monetary cost. That's what you're saying, right?
But I disagree with you, Ruthie. For me, at least, if I was going to pay something, I'm paying to make me feel good. Not you. I'm only doing it because, for me. I'm like, I like this person. I'm going to pay this, whatever. And yeah, I mean, it would be like I'm not going to go hungry or nothing.
So there used to be a time when I would never, like, I thought it was wrong to just pay for anything, right? Like, it was, I ain't gonna do, and I think that a big chunk of that was growing up in a place where the other women, like, it was sport for black dudes to get stuff out of white women, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you used to be like, they used to pay for everything, and everybody would talk about that, etc. I think as I got older, particularly through being married and then being married again, I have evolved, right? So I've evolved on but I would always never advise my child to ever take a car payment or a note or anything as a gesture, because I understand the potential for misinterpretation.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm. The potential for misinterpretation, and then the outcome of that, right? Where not everybody was raised the same. So
that's right.
Now somebody is like, you See,
the thing is that the process of courtship.
Remy says Ruthie more.
What you say, Remy?
He says a student loan payment should be an automatic entanglement.
That's exactly, that is, and to me, that's how, if I was, no shade.
That's interesting how
I would feel like if I made a student loan payment.
That is really interesting.
It reminds me of Set It Off, right? I mean, I'm just saying, like, that to me is crossing again. I mean, you think about how many.
A worth and a value, a student loan payment, I'm worth way more than that. You see how low our bars are. What I think courtship would be a great conversation to have, and what that looks like, and what are the different levels to courtship and the expectations and blah 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 blah. Because I think that is what this conversation is really all about.
I do too.
Well, it's also about the attachment to money.
Yeah, good one.
People are so money hungry; they'll do anything for it sometimes.
See, and that to me is
and
where,
men are used to giving it, and women were used to receiving it.
And I think men are used to giving it with expectation. And I'm not suggesting that you're way more. You're not worth way more. But
a student loan payment, dang. I'm just looking at these comments, and we got to try to step our game up or something.
I'm gonna tell you. So here's me. I would suggest that as a man with a daughter who has not been perfect, I would always advise, and even as I write to my daughter now, would always advise her to do for self, take nothing from no one, and whatever you can't get on your own, and we can't do it as a family, we don't, until you get to being married.
I thought he was going to end it with, and always carry a switchblade. Self-protection.
I am concerned only because Ruthie is talking about the loan payment, and I keep seeing this $40 thing. Right? And the $40 outfit and what it costs to, and I do think that there is somewhere in our psyche, whether it's men, women and men, and I'm gonna say not everybody is elevated as Ruthie, right?
Right.
Or sees the value at student loan payment. However, I will tell you that I have seen on numerous occasions that be part of the value assessment of whether someone will date you, right?
Or whether you date somebody.
Interesting, right? I would tell you that if somebody approached me or let me know about their student loan payments, or if they started talking about, man, I really hate this.
We ain't talking about that. We talking about two consenting people in a courtship.
Okay.
And what is the worth? What do you place the worth and the value?
My time. We'll talk about it more next week. It's the Maze Jackson Show. So, for Todd Stroger, for Ruthie Moore, for Sonia Escobar, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can tell them, Maze said. We out of here. Peace.
What's in it for the black people? What's in it? What's in it for the black people? A minute. For the black people. 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 For the black people.